I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it!
Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world.
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over the Chicago Bulls.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Good morning. Whoops. Wrong screen. There we go. Welcome to the fabulous, fantastic football Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning. I don't have my set up because there was an accident last night and I spilled something on it, so gotta let it dry and I gotta get everything. I gotta redo everything and get it all in place. And for my buddy Wise El Jefe, who's with us, Cole Johnson, in just a second. Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. That's, of course, the great impression of the great John Sterling. We're presented this morning by Fanatics, official sitmorn.com/Fanatics, where sports fans shop. Also by Monkey Knife Fight, some of your best prop games. And yes, there was actually a football game last night, and I was asleep. And we're also presented by Black Lion Security, the pride of protection with the protection of pride. And I begin this morning with a shout out to my buddy Charles Faulkner and crew, because I pleaded for help last night, and boy, did I get it, and then some. So the guys the guys and gals at Charles Faulkner's YouTube channel really came through last night to help my wife and I get through. So I cannot thank Charles enough. Big time Baltimore Ravens fan. He's the guy in charge of Black Lion Security. So yeah, like I said, I hopped on his channel last night and I said, well, wife and I are in the midst of a state of emergency. And he said, what do you need? I said, well, we need a little bit of help to get us through next week. He said, post your Cash App in the chat. I did that. And the next thing I knew, they were flowing in fast. So we got a little cushion now. We got a little bit of a cushion. And Charles, I cannot thank you and the crew enough for riding to a snowman and Dr. K's rescue. I can't say thank you enough for that. So I'm going to do something different to start us off today. And I know this is not on this. No, this is not on the schedule, but I'm damn sick and tired of a certain story. And I'm going to put a stop to it right now. So Brittany Griner got sentenced to 9.5 years in a Russian prison for a vape pen and some cannabis. And all the woke people said, that's too long. You shouldn't have done that. Well, you know something? That's how we start this morning. No one cares. She broke a law. She's got to pay for it. Period. End of story. And you may not like the length of time. It may seem excessive to a lot of people. And that's the comment I got. That's the comment I saw, I should say, a lot. You know, my wife even asked me, what law did she break? And I told her, and she's like, oh, well, she messed up. She broke the law. She got to pay the price. How come people don't understand that? How come all these woke people, and I'm stepping on a lot of toes, but I don't care. A.L. Evans, salute Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, and A.L., salute to you. my friend. You were one of the folks that rode to the rescue for me last night, and I can't thank you enough. Why can't it be why can't it be simple? You break a law, you do the crime, you have to do the time. Why can't it be simple in society anymore?
Because it's that her case isn't simple because it's political. It has nothing to do with the vape cartridges
simple to
or
me.
whatever. It's political. To you it's simple, but in nature it's political. It's all political, and I get it. She did break the law. She did break the law. I understand.
Right.
I get it. And
But how come?
And you know me, I'm a 420 person. So
yeah, I know.
It's to me, she knew the circumstance because it's not the people who fail to realize they're no longer in the United States.
For a moment, he left.
You're not even in the United States. So she should have known better. That's her fault. She should have known that this is a completely legal system from what she deals with here. Here, maybe it would have been a slap on the wrist. Maybe it was not. It's not because she's licensed here. She's not licensed over there. That's her fault. But again,
I wanted to get that off my chest and do the no one cares thing. And Cole Johnson's now joined us, making this duo a trio. That's exactly why I began with the no one cares thing. Because this is the only time I will go off the sports board, unless we're talking about food or video games or game shows, or we'll do an off the board later. I'm sick and wise. This is not against you, and I totally take your point into consideration that it is political, because it is. It is indeed political. But doggone it, I'm keeping it simple.
I'm sorry.
She broke the law. She needs to pay for it. Period.
I'm sorry. Bump this political crap. Went to another country, broke the law, and this is not her first trip there to Russia. So there's no excuse to me. None.
I
don't give a crap if there is a Russia-Ukraine conflict and any American is considered the enemy of the state to Russia. I don't give a crap. You went over to another country, you broke that country's law, and now you're paying the price for it. And if it were Wise, it were Brian, it were me, if it were my wife, I would say the exact same thing.
Same. You go to another country and you break the law, you pay for it.
I mean, it's akin to a U.S. ambassador's son who went over to Singapore and he decided to tag along with a few of his friends and vandalize cars. Well,
idiots.
It was people in America were in an uproar when people realized, oh, you break a law in Singapore of that nature, you get lashes. Oh, that's barbaric. Well, I'm sorry. That young man broke the law in that country, and you break the law in that country, you are subject to those laws' punishments.
Period.
I'm sorry.
I agree. But again, to me, it's all show.
I hit it. Listen, I hit it. I quit it. Now let's start the whip around presented by Fanatics.
Oh, good Lord. And now we start with, that was a football game. Yes, last night.
Was there?
The Hall of Fame game was on. The Jaguars against the Raiders. The Raiders won 27-11, but we really don't care much about what happened on the field. It's more along the lines of football season has officially returned. Of course, the regular season begins 5 weeks from last night, and we look forward to it when the Rams host the Bills.
Yeah,
that's the game.
The Bills go to LA and kick their ass. Next.
So there was an interesting tete-a-tete that happened yesterday in the Giants home game against the Dodgers. Top of the sixth inning, there was a pitcher named Jarlene Garcia. He had an exchange with Mookie Betts because he mimicked, after striking out two Dodgers in the top of the sixth, their dugout celebration, the Dodgers dugout celebration, whenever they have a big hit or a homer, which basically is this. And for those who are listening to us, you take it, you ball your right fist, and you bang it against your head. So umpire Phil Cousy saw this. He went to he went to Garcia and he wanted to take it to task. When Giants manager Gabe Kapler said, "Oh no, you don't. You ain't doing this," and he took up for his pitcher, for the rabbit-eared umpire to toss him out after 30 seconds of conversation. I don't understand how we have these umpires who think they are the stars of the game. We don't pay to see them. We pay to see the players.
Today's umpire in the 21st century.
So freaking rabbit-eared.
Listen, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm glad Gabe Kaplan went and defended his player.
I am too.
It's because, listen,
Me too.
It's eventually the players would have dealt with it themselves. And I'm not saying that they should have been it, but I'm just saying it's like somebody would have came up with a big hit off of him or something. Who knows? It doesn't matter. It's part of the game. It's just like the same way the Dodgers celebrated in the dugout. He wanted to be like, yeah, here, go celebrate that.
Right.
I get it. This is baseball. It's always been like this. This is if you don't want to come on. This thing about being friends on the field is no.
Bump that.
We here to win. We here to play. I'm here to beat the brains out of you.
And they're here to beat the brains off of me. Right. And that's how it's supposed to be. Now, top of 7th, there was a 2-run homer that the Dodgers hit. Guess how the Dodgers celebrated?
Same way they always celebrated.
So what was the point in trying to take the pitcher to task and tossing out the manager of the Giants? Come on, man. You all got to do better than MLB.
Next.
Much better than this. This is for the elite Eagles fam. Carson Wentz had an awful, abysmal day at Commanders camp when he threw 3 interceptions. And possibly Eagles fan is saying now, seeing how Carson Wentz looks now makes us really glad we have Jalen Hurts. I look at it this way. You have a quarterback in Hurts who is mentally tougher, who is physically tougher, obviously, than Wentz. And, of course, Eagles fan is very petty. I love you, Sam. I love you, Cool, but that's true. And I'm not saying that's a slight. I'm saying that's a compliment. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a slight. I'm saying it's a compliment. What I'm not liking about Wentz is he has to understand that his job is to take care of the ball. And I think even in practice, he's struggling with that. And we're seeing that he still is struggling with it now because it looks like the physical injuries are starting to get to him mentally.
I'll say it again. He had not 1, but 2 shots with the Indianapolis Colts to lead them to the playoffs. Choked away a 10-point lead against the Raiders in week 17. You know what? You ain't doing it right. I believe you're looking for this. Wait, try again. Took away the lead in week 17. Let the Raiders walk off on you. The freaking Raiders. And then in week 18, you got socked in the mouth, kicked in the nuts, punched in the face against the Jacksonville Jaguars, to which my wife, who's a big-time Colts fan, looked at me and said, F this, I'm taking a nap. Game's over.
This was in the second quarter?
This was the first drive of the game.
She said that the first drive. Wow.
She said that after the Jacksonville Jaguars walked down the field in 10 plays and stuck it in the end zone.
Did. They pretty much did walk down the field in that drive.
Doggone blankety blank thing about it. My wife looked at me and said, and at the time we were both battling COVID. My wife looked at me and said, F this, I'm taking a nap. So bye, Wentz. You got what you deserve. Move on, please.
Yes, you did. Former Nick and former other teams as well, Iman Shumpert. He was arrested at
next
DWI on Saturday for allegedly trying to bring 6 ounces of cannabis through security. Now, the police said the Shumpert told officers that the bag contained marijuana and asked if there was any way he could make the flight. And, of course, they said, I swear, it's
why,
like
What they actually,
y'all giving potheads the wrong name, man. Like y'all
no,
making us look
no.
bad. No, I'm not saying you.
No,
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm talking about
what they
Iman
said.
Iman Shepherd.
Oh yes, they are.
Shumpert
Yeah.
and Brian and Griner.
Griner.
Because
Yes,
dumbasses.
yes.
You know what?
Thank
I'm
you.
a regular
Yes.
person. I'm
Yes.
not taking 6 ounces of weed with me on no damn airplane. Let's
Listen,
get that
what
straight.
they
I
said,
will
Thank
find
you, Wise.
somewhere and I
was two
land.
things.
Believe
Thank
me,
you, Wise.
I will find
Thank you, Wise.
somewhere
Yes.
I land somewhere. I am not
Yep.
carrying anything.
Thank you.
Oh
what
my
they
God.
actually
Oh my
said, what
God.
they actually said
You know what? I
was,
think when you become a celebrity, you become stupid.
you know what? I actually agree with that. When you become a celebrity, you
100.
become stupid. What they also said to Iman Shumpert was,
Shut up, fool.
That
and
I
where
tell
is
you,
it?
man.
Where's the big one? What they also said to Iman Shumpert essentially was,
Stay off the weed.
Look, I'm with you, Wise. It's not that, and I think Brian is with me on this. It's not that we're saying don't ever smoke it. It's
That's
it's
your
just like
prerogative, yeah.
it's just like drinking. Be responsible when you do it.
Yes.
exactly.
Don't be an idiot and try to fly with 6 ounces. Oh my God, somebody needs to slap him.
Yes,
Somebody
I
needs
agree
to
with
slap
you.
him.
And
Like
speaking,
seriously?
yeah, that was absolutely
Idiota.
stupid. And speaking
What
of
is-
being
what is my
idiota,
granddaughter to say? Idiota.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
And again,
Stay off the weed.
move along.
did I say irresponsible weed person?
Yes.
Brittany Griner sentenced to 9 years on drug charges in Russia. What happens
Already
next?
hit that. Already hit that.
She serves her time. And that concludes Whip Around.
Yeah. She did the crime. She has to do the time, period. All right. Let's go to the Fanatics feedback zone before our first break. Sick Diggy in the house with us. The boy got canned. Just wish it was Mr. Fuji that did the canning and did the ceremonial salt in the boy's face. Oh, yeah.
I wish it was what you doing the caning too, brother. Because he deserved he deserved more than the 6 he got. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee
Then
you.
there's Rod saying, good morning, start the podcast. Start the podcast.
Oh, he was that. He was early though. He did that early. He
Yeah.
sent that message early as soon as he stepped in the room. He's been here since the beginning.
You
Morning,
know
Rod.
what?
Thank you, Rod.
Rod, it's a radio show, not a podcast. You can catch the podcast version later, and I got a lot of catching up to do with that, admittedly. Sick Diggy says, good morning. A11 says, salute. Ryan McCorfey, good morning, gentlemen, and happy Friday to everyone. Her own lawyer, after the verdict, even said it was excessive considering the amount she had. Furthermore, it's all political theater and propaganda on the Russian government via the judiciary. True, but she still effed up.
Badly.
True,
and
but
royally.
she still effed up.
Badly
and, this
and
is
royally.
We're talking about, and I speak from a place of, yeah, we know you do. Half of these,
Yeah.
let me change that and make Cole smile. 3/4 of these woke people don't know what logic is. And
Ain't that the doggone truth?
Thank God
Like,
it's Friday.
why?
Absolutely. 9 years is too much for some schnubby. Now Drew Willingham's getting in on the fun. You know better.
Well, it was going to be 10. She argued it down to 9. So you have to remember that.
It should have been 10. Let's see. A Pizzle repeating this.
Stay off the weed.
Thank you, A Pizzle. Thank you, A Pizzle. Let's move on. It's better to break out the Bill Duke clip. You don't want that smoke.
You know, up, right? You up, right? That never gets old.
Can we say that to Cowboy fans?
Yes.
Even better. Can we say that? Even better. Can we say that to
even bring
Patriot
up the
fans?
Cowboys? How did this even lead to the Cowboys? Like,
hold on.
Because it's a football Friday. That's how.
I know, but we don't need to talk about them. There's other teams to talk about.
Like the New York Football Giants, of course.
Of course. But
She's never traveling outside the U.S. again after this. Ain't that
No,
the
she
truth?
still has. No, I don't know. She still has to because she still has to pay child support. So she needs that money.
She ain't gonna get it.
No.
That game was trash.
Yeah, that Hall of Fame game was trash. Oh,
I was
and
asleep.
Drew. Oh, and Drew.
I didn't realize.
To this, leave the snubby burners alone. I don't. If you're gonna be stupid,
Me neither.
Like I don't get on Wise because he's actually responsible.
Oh yeah, he does. He gets on me. He gets on me.
No, I tease you.
I know you. I know that.
I tease you.
I know.
But
Why
I don't go with the why
Listen,
is you
I like some of these other potheads. Wise
I'll
actually
tell.
cares about being responsible with it.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's nobody's business. I do it in my own privacy in my home.
Exactly.
Right.
As far as these others go, including Iman Shumpert and Cole, this will make you smile.
You tripping.
That's what a lot of these woke.
100%.
That's what a lot of these woke people think after the punishment was handed down for Brittany Griner. She broke the damn law, period. But a lot of these woke people, as I found on social media, were saying these words.
You tripping.
And my response to them is,
Can I just get what is a woke person? Like I really don't know.
you don't
Big
want
money, no whammies. No, I'm sorry, my bad.
You
I'll be.
you don't want a definition of that, Wise.
Why not?
You don't want to. Oh, you know what? I'll describe it in my terms. A woke person is someone who thinks they're down for the cause and doesn't know what the blankety blank bleep bleep cause is. Am I in the ballpark?
Kyrie Irving. Woke person, Kyrie Irving.
Am I in the ballpark with my definition here?
Those are just idiots.
No, woke person, Kyrie Irving. I know I'm not in the ballpark. I'm on the pitcher's mound.
Thank you.
Oh.
Well, Cole took it over for me. And this is what I say to all those woke people. There. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. Drew Willingham, as we go back to the fanatic feedback zone. She should have known the rules and regulations before leaving the U.S. with the remanufactured schnubby. I'll concede to that as I'm not woke.
I love that. I love how you say that, Drew. Schnubby. That's a cool word, bro.
I love that.
That's a cool word. I love that.
Now, Raiders getting 10 wins this year. 8 is their ceiling.
Well,
and I'll leave it at that.
Well, I mean, they got to 9, so it's possible they could get to 10.
They got the 9, and they're going to drop below that. They're going to get the 8, and we're doing the AFC West today with Mike Debate, so we're gonna have fun with that. That'll be later on, and then it's Friday. So guess who we have at the bottom of hour 2? Yeah, I don't have to.
You just see the smile on our faces.
I don't have to say anything else.
See the smile. You just see the smile on our faces.
Listen, y'all.
We know Friday
at the
is
bottom
here.
of our
this
you
makes
at the bottom of hour 2. All I'm going to say is 2 words: be prepared. That's all I'm going to say. Be prepared.
I want to know. I really see you starting something as soon as he gets here. I know it's. I feel you have something to say that's gonna get him.
I got a lot of things to say.
Definitely. B definitely knows how to get him started.
Yes, he does.
All I'm
yes,
gonna
he
do
does
is
know how to get
ask
him
him
started.
All I'm gonna do is
here
ask
we go.
him a question.
Here we go.
All I'm gonna do is ask him a question.
I'll wait to hear the question. I'll wait to hear the question.
All I'm gonna do.
I want to be surprised, just like you.
Are y'all accusing me of stirring up Chris Bass when he comes in every Friday? Please say yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
See,
that's it.
I'll tell you in Spanish too. Sí.
Oui. Okay, I'll go French on you.
French, we'll go French. Oui. Yes. Oui.
Okay. I'll go German. Da.
See?
Listen, my wife's tuning in and she's in on the fun and she says, "Hell yeah, you start him up." But I cannot say with a straight face. All I'm gonna do is ask him a question because y'all already know it's my homie. It's Chris Bass. I'm gonna find something to get him started. But hey, sometimes he gets himself started.
Yeah, that's true.
All I'm gonna ask him.
I think he wakes up started personally.
Listen,
I mean, hey, And
A few
I love
weeks
bass though.
ago,
I
love
love
it
had-
too.
I love
we
watching bass.
we all
I do
love
too.
him.
But
We
yeah,
all love him.
yeah,
A
we
few
all
weeks
do.
ago, he had liquor on this show
Literal liquor.
live.
And it
Okay?
was
I'm not
all
gonna say
and it
the-
was
I just want
I
I just
don't-
want to ask you a
wait,
question.
wait,
Is
wait.
that the rules?
and it was all due
I'm
to
just asking.
him, her.
Oh my God!
Oh!
Why? Why? Why did you do that? I am blind. Oh my God, I am blind. Oh my God, why did you do that? Oh, oh my God, why?
And that is why Chris
Why?
Bates brought
Why
some
did you
liquor.
do that? Why did you? Why?
Because she wanted to intervene in the
God.
Bears'
Oh
business,
my God! Why
and
did
she
you-
is hastening the Bears
Cole,
leaving the city.
Cole, that burns. That burns. Oh man, it burns.
Now I'll admit that time that didn't slip.
Oh, I know you didn't slip. You did that on purpose. I can't believe you.
No, I had to give
I'm
them.
crying here. It
I-
hurts.
I
It
had-
hurts.
Don't you
I had
know
to
I
my
wear glasses?
I had to give the fam
Don't you-
why Bates brought
Don't you
some
know I
liquor.
wear glasses?
Oh, and I got my glasses on.
Man.
You should at least said, "Yo, Wise, take your glasses off." You should have told me. You should have warned me.
I should have worn.
Yo, Wise, just
I should have worn my
like, Wise, take
sunglasses.
your glasses off.
Wait a minute.
Oh my
I
God.
should have
'Cause then
worn
it
my
would've
sunglasses.
At least it would have been blurry. It would have been blurry. Had you
Yes.
told me to take my glasses
Yes.
off, it would have been blurry.
Holy
But no,
catfish!
I got full view of that.
Oh my God!
It just smacked me in the face. You know, like when somebody got real bad BO
Don't ever
and it just smacks
listen.
you in the face.
Yes.
That's what that picture just
Dear
did
God,
to me.
yes. I mean, I think this is Cole getting even with me for the time.
But what did I
said
do
the
to him?
word-
I want to know what did I do to Cole to deserve that?
No,
You're riding
you're fine. Why?
shotgun on a Friday.
Oh man. Oh,
I'll answer
You're
that.
fine. Why?
You're
Okay.
riding shotgun on a Friday. All right.
Now I have to
See-
stick knives in my eyes. Oh
Wait a minute.
God.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What did Cole? What did Cole say after he pulled that stunt a couple weeks ago? You can't unsee that.
No,
you can't
It's
unsee
like
it.
burnt in
You
the back of my
can't-
brain now.
You
Like
cannot unsee that.
And you can't unsee that.
No, that is something you can't
You
unsee.
cannot. Oh,
The
see,
first
that's-
time I laid
and I'm
eyes
from
on that,
Chicago,
Oh
and
my
I'm from
God.
Chicago.
Woman.
So I'll share a Chicago story of me riding the L train. And something you can't unsee. And I talked about this before. Some folks that like beg for change on the train
oh,
look
Lord
like
have
that.
mercy. Wow.
don't even disrespect those people like that. Man. Don't even
Not the,
disrespect.
don't disrespect the mayor. Don't disrespect
Don't
them.
Don't disrespect them like that,
Don't
man.
disrespect.
Don't
Oh
even
my
disrespect them like that, yo. Oh my God, that's
I'll
like
insert a couple of words. I'll insert a couple of words. They look worse than that.
no. There could be no worse than that right now. There could be no worse than that right now.
You know,
Except for when you see her and her significant
her
other
significant other?
kissing. That's the only other thing that's worse. And Cole, you better not put that up,
her
Cole.
and her significant
You
other.
better not
doing
put it
what?
up. You
It-
better not.
Whoa!
put that up.
Hold on.
I don't. What's up? What's
Wait,
up? What's up?
what did you
What's up?
say, Wise? Her
I
and
see
her.
her significant other, and it's the complete opposite of what she is. Like not in looks, but I'm just saying.
What I always found interesting about that is when you see them stand,
God.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
One is 6'5", the other is
Yes,
5'3".
I was like, you should never. Someone should have told her you should
Listen,
never stand side by side with your
with the height
significant other.
difference between me and my wife, we can get away with it. But Cole, I love you, but I'm gonna sock you in the eye for mentioning her significant other that one day, that one Friday.
Oh, because yeah, we
Then
were
I had-
looking.
I had to look.
What I do?
I had to look.
What
What
I
Saw the
do?
picture. That's what
you
I'm saying.
open
I
your
saw.
mouth. That's
I saw
what.
that picture too.
I'm
That,
sorry,
you
it's
can't
just-
see those pictures.
I'm
I
sorry.
know.
She was just.
Oh,
I'm
I
sorry.
know.
She
I
was hideous,
know.
and unfortunately, so was my wife. And then she has the audacity to be a foot taller than
Oh,
Uncle
shit,
Lori.
She looked taller than all of us. She looked like she's 7 foot.
If she's 7 foot, my ass is in trouble. At 6'5", my ass is in serious effing trouble. Because
But just maybe because when she stands next to her,
Wait a minute.
just seems like she's just a giant.
It just seems like it's Muggsy Bogues and Larry Johnson, doesn't it?
I think more like Muggsy Bogues and Lonzo Mourning. Maybe that.
Oh dear Lord. Oh dear Lord.
That's a good one, Wise. Oh my God.
I think more of that one. Go that way.
This is when the Charlotte Hornets were good.
Because LJ really not that tall. LJ's really not that tall. He's just built like a tank.
Yeah, LJ's thick. I mean, he has height.
But has height, yes, for bad. Yes.
Morning is 6'10".
Yes, exactly.
Wait a minute. To the Fanatics feedback zone. That pick was for Snowman. Wise was just collateral damage. Oh my gosh. And to think my wife was worried about me this morning. I didn't sleep well last night. Was up and down most of the night, but when I did get to sleep, I did crash. I did crash, so I feel good.
That's good.
I feel good. I got a wound care appointment this afternoon. I'm definitely going to get an hour down before I head into town. I can't believe you're bugging out over the mayor and spouse. Make like Eddie Griffin and leave it alone. Sick. There's just one problem. Once you see it, you can't
unsee
it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. It's been 2 years, and that picture of her has been seared in my brain. Because I'm thinking there isn't a person on this earth that should look like that.
All this started because she wants to put a plate on top of Soldier Field.
Yeah.
Actually, it started before. Yeah, that's how it started. Because we've talked about
a plane on top of a spaceship. Yes,
she wants to put a plane on top of a spaceship that doesn't belong on top of a blankety blank spaceship. And yes, I got a lot of blanks today. Good grief! We're live on Real Wise Radio as well as SDM Sports Radio. Thank you all for tuning in, and we're also live on BS3 Network as well as YouTube and Twitch.
Thank you, guys.
And we got a few minutes before Sam I Am shows up with some football news. As this Football Friday is now in high gear.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things you just can't unsee. That's one of them. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I would rather have sat through what they called a football game last night.
Oh, easily.
Than to see that.
That's not even a question. I'd rather see a boring Hall of Fame game.
I'd rather sit through the football game last night.
I'll even do it this way. I'll do you a solid. I will sit through the fourth quarter of a Hall of Fame game.
Oh dear Lord. I'd sit through. All right. Thank you, Wise.
Excuse me.
That's about how I felt about that football game last night. And then Cole decides to grace us with that. Doggone you.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Oh, look.
I'm sorry. My ass. You were waiting to push that button.
You set it up by saying Chris Bass brought liquor. I was giving context clues as to why he brought liquor. That was it.
I think
my ass. My ass.
Now, I
will do this, Cole. I will do this for you.
Good.
Salute.
See? Thank you, sir. Now, Wise, our brother was not really feeling all that well and didn't have all that much energy Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
But man, now, what a difference.
Oh, but I did. Tell him I did get on him yesterday, though.
Oh,
I did
what?
get.
I got on
him yesterday.
He bugged me.
He needs to get on. Right. I was like, I had to get in on him.
Right down after the show. After the show, I shut it down. I went in the back, and my dog was waiting on me, and my dog was just like inviting me to the couch, going, "Come on, Daddy, lay down." And the next thing I knew, it was 3:00.
Cool.
Yeah, I told
you. It was 3:00. My wound care nurse came by and redid the blisters on my feet, and they're healing. And I'm thinking within the next couple of weeks, I'll be able to put shoes back on and get back to walking. Since we got a couple of acres here to work with now, I can walk the farm and get some exercise in with my dog. and strengthen my legs, because there is a Chevy Suburban with my name on it, and there's a truck with my wife's name on it. And again, let me thank Charles Faulkner and his crew last night for riding to a snowman's and his family's rescue. I cannot thank y'all enough. I made an emergency plea, and they stood up for me and with me. 35 after the hour. Let's talk football. Here's Sam. Good morning, Sam.
Morning, fellas. How's it going?
I'm
Good, man. How you doing, Sam?
Good. All right, Sam.
I definitely cannot complain.
Good.
You're the football expert for hour one. What you got for us?
Oh, man. I don't know if you guys caught that game last night, but that Winnipeg-Montreal game was it was a barn burner, for a lack of a better term.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. The Winnipeg Bombers are now 9-0, halfway through their season, and they win in Montreal last night, 35-20. Even though the Blue Bombers turned the ball over 3 times last night.
Wow.
Yes,
that's
sir.
Scary. That's scary.
Yes, sir.
A team
In
that
fact,
scores
it
that many
looked
points
like
to turn the
last
ball over that
night.
much. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It looked like last night they might actually get their first loss, and it didn't end up being the case. I guess Montreal just didn't have enough to overcome their issues, because they've got plenty of them at this point. And still at this point, they've only won one game under their new head coach / GM. So I definitely think he's firmly planted on the hot seat going into the off season, and we might see a full rebuild in Montreal coming into 2023.
I wouldn't be surprised, because since they changed coaches and made other changes, it just has not gone well for the Montreal Alouettes. To the game of the week in the CFL, the Toronto Argonauts and the Hamilton Tiger Cats will tangle at BMO Field. And the strangest thing, if you look at the records, you wouldn't think this would be significant, but the East Division lead hangs in the balance on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Actually, it's crazy to see, but Toronto's still in the lead in the East, and I don't even think they're at 500 right now. I have to look at their record. But it's crazy to see exactly how everything's shaken out in the CFL. But that's a big reason why I like the league. I mean, it's so exciting, and there's so much parity, because you truly never know who's going to win on a given week. Winnipeg's about the only sure thing this season so far, and even they, like I said, showed some chinks in their armor last night.
They sure did. But they got away with it, turning the ball over 3 times, all of it in the first half, and they were able to get a 35-20 win. Zach Collaro's still doing his thing, in line for offensive MVP. We'll see have to see how the rest of the season shakes out. Tonight's game is interesting, because tonight's game could be a trap game for the Calgary Stampeders, who were coming off a loss to Winnipeg. They go to Ottawa to take on the Red Blacks, and the Red Blacks got their first win last week in Toronto. So now you have the Stampeders coming into Ottawa, who are sticking their chest out right now, going, "Okay, we got one. Can they get another one with one of the best teams in the league?"
This is going to be exactly what you just called it, a trap game. I think Ottawa does have a realistic shot to win this game. And I want to say Ottawa wins the game, because, like you said, they got the home field advantage. They're coming off a victory, whereas, Calgary's vice versa. They're coming off a loss, so momentum's kind of swinging Ottawa's way finally. And Ottawa's got a lot of talent. I always expected them to be a good team this season. It just took some time to gel. They had the most free agent acquisitions, especially on offense, of any team in the league. And there's a lot of chemistry issues going on that I think are causing their losses up to this point. But it'll definitely be interesting to see. I really think Ottawa gives Calgary a run for their money.
That's going to be interesting. That's a 7:30 kickoff in the nation's capital. Mention Hamilton and Toronto. That's 7:00 on Saturday. And then you got the Edmonton Elks. They go to BC Place and play inside the Dome against the Lions of BC. And the Lions are coming off of a win. And now you get the Elks coming in again. This is how this season start off. And you got to believe Nathan Rourke and company are licking their chops seeing the Elks again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially with the way things are going for the Elks. I mean, it seems like on a weekly basis, they're shuffling their roster, and it just doesn't seem to help. And it's getting to be one of those situations where it looks like the Elks are as much a sure thing as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers currently. And it's, in the opposite fashion. They're consistently losing, and it's just there's a lot of questions about their roster currently. But I guess, any given week they could recover and we could see something different. But I ultimately think they pick up another loss this week.
We're talking with Sam Shady from the Shady Sports Network, breaking down the CFL. All right. Pick an offensive MVP for me, with us being 9 weeks in the season. Is it Caleros? Is it someone else? Is it Nathan Rourke that can make a run for MVP?
Yeah, see, that's a tough decision. I think Caleros obviously has the inside track to that reward, but I think that the CFL in general could benefit from Rourke winning it. And I know that sounds goofy.
Really?
Leagues don't often look at things like that, but you have to consider what Nathan Rourke has been able to do as a quarterback. And he's garnering American attention, which is very, very important for the CFL right now. So if they were to give him the award, it's just another storyline for the American media to play off and give the CFL more attention heading into next season.
Nathan Rourke, Canada's prodigal son, played at the University of Ohio, now lighting it up in BC, and has the Lions in second place in the West. They'll try to stay in second place in the West. They've lost only once. Calgary's now lost twice. But right now, if we're talking about team awards, if we're talking about a Grey Cup appearance, it's all about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, there's going to be a lot of awards headed their way this season, I think.
And the Grey Cup is at Mosaic Stadium. So my buddy Clark Monroe, Rod Peterson and company, they're really gonna hype that up. That's Sam Shady joining us, talking all things CFL as we take you on the ride to Mosaic and Grey Cup 109. And he'll be talking football all throughout the year with us. And man, we're gonna have some fun doing it. Thank you very much, Sam. We love you. We'll talk to you next week.
Yes, Sam.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend, fellas. I'll catch you next week.
All right.
Thank you very much, Sam. Ooh, I like what he said about Nathan Rourke possibly winning the MVP and garnering some American attention. Because remember, for a while, the CFL was in America.
Yeah. Yeah,
the
dipped
CFL
his toes
was,
here
I
for
want to say
a minute.
1994. I want to say 92 and 94.
Yeah, sometime in the 90s. Yeah.
Matter of fact, while I'm a research maven, I'm gonna look this up right now. There's a game they play every year, the Touchdown Atlantic game. Had a chance to watch that, and that was fun. But yeah, the CFL was I know it was in Baltimore for sure. 1993 with Sacramento. Sacramento Gold Miners. They added 3 more American teams in 1994. 1 relocated and 1 folded to bring the total to 5 in 1995. They were aligned to a new South Division. The only American-based team to win the Grey Cup championship, this will be a trivia question toward the end of the season. Oddly enough, the Baltimore Stallions. That year was 1995. Interesting stuff.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Interesting stuff. To the Fanatics feedback zone, Pragmatic Prime says, greetings, Snowman and Cole. Greetings to you.
Pragmatic Prime.
And two of my buddies were at that game. They each got poutine fries, cheese curds, and gravy. I wanted to try that, but with me having body parts missing, I'm not even going to think about it.
No.
That's a Canadian delicacy and a Canadian delicacy only.
Yes.
That's a Canadian delicacy only. All right, we're going to head to a break. I'm going to try to put a set together in the next 4 minutes. So we'll go to a break. We'll step out of the way, and when we come back, we're just going to kill some time until Ben Suter shows up and we rag him. This is Snowman in the Morning with Wise El Jefe and Cole Johnson, back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning. You can support us at Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson every time you shop for fan gear or collectibles at Fanatics. Just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and click on the Fanatics logo. Then shop as planned and we'll get a commission on your sale that will help us a ton. Next time you're going to shop at Fanatics, just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and support our morning show. Thanks.
Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
He's a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time league MVP, a member of our 75th anniversary team, and for the first time ever, he's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
Let's go, Stephen!
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
It's the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts. Every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck. You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Well, Dr. K, it's official Sitm on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and on Twitch. It's official Sitm. Back at it, Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I'm Cole. You see Wise. Our boy Brian will join us momentarily. At the top of the hour, number 2, of course, it will be joined by Brian Sutter III. Of course, the man who is the owner, the operator, the manipulator of the BS3 network. And of course, we're going to enter the boom shakalaka with Chris Bass at the bottom of the second hour. And we're looking forward to it. Of course, in hour number 3, Mike Debate at the top of the hour, and King Doc, Ivan Dawkins. We will probably touch on some shenanigans along with some cowboy stuff at the bottom of hour number 3. But to end this first hour, as you can see, I am with a Yankees fan.
Of course.
As he touts a shirt that says the New York insignia on it. And I was reading an article saying that they're going to be playing one of the 5 big weekend series as they meet up with the Cardinals. How good do you think your team's chances are in going to the World Series? And I think this will be for the first time in 12 years?
09.
13 years. Okay.
Yes. They've gotten better with the pickups we made, and
yeah.
I'm disappointed we got rid of Jordan Montgomery, but when Harrison Bader's healthy, he is an upgrade over Aaron Hicks, and you can't have Aaron Judge playing center field all the time.
Right.
So I hate to see Montgomery go, but the fact that they went and picked up the kid from Oakland, that to me was a big move. He was the second best starter available on the market. They went out and got him. The relief pitcher they picked up a young relief pitcher from Chicago that's pretty good, and then Trevino as well. And they did, and the guy Trevino's been having issues, but they feel that especially with the pitching coach that they have, Matt Blake, who's probably the best pitching coach in baseball right now, with what he's doing with this pitching staff. If they feel if he works with them, he can help him out and help out the rest of the pitchers that we would. But again, a lot of these pitchers are having amazing career years. Like Nestor Cortez is having a career year, but he's been pitching like that since last year.
Right.
And again, it's Matt Blake. Matt Blake has brought something different. He's an amazing pitching coach, and hope. Let's see if we keep him in, because a lot of people are looking at him as maybe a manager one day. Who knows? But I prefer him to stay as our pitching coach, definitely.
You said something that was really interesting, and I totally forget that he actually played it. Aaron Judge, center fielder, and I would think that would be. He's been playing it. He's been playing it a lot this year. Right,
playing center field a lot.
Yeah,
He's athletic. He's so good athletically. Like, but when you look at him, he's a giant. He's huge.
Right.
And for him to play center field, that just shows you the athletic ability he has.
Right. Yeah. And my
Not to
thought
mention
process,
the versatility he has.
Yeah. Because my thought process to me would be any move that you could make to not have Judge play center field all the time, I think would be beneficial for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Left or right fielder or first baseman. That's cool.
It benefits him as far as extending energy, and
right.
And when he's bad, because when you play center field, you get a lot of action in center field.
Yeah.
So and you got to cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I prefer him to play right field.
I do too.
All day, because you don't expend as much energy out there in right field.
Right.
And it saves him for when he's hitting, and he's having a phenomenal season. So
yeah, and that I was about to say he's having an MVP type season, and he played center field for most of this year. Yeah, it does go to show how talented that guy is.
You just got to pay him the money.
And I think the Yankees will. I mean, I think they realized that Judge is going to.
They didn't go after Juan Soto like everyone predicted that they would. They're keeping
I'm so
Aaron
happy
Judge,
they
and they're
didn't.
going to pay him.
I'm happy they didn't too, because I really believe they have to now say to Aaron, okay, you got Ruth, you got Garrett, you got Mantle, you got Jeter. We regard you as that. You're now the next legacy Yankee player, and it's time for them to actually put that stamp on him as such.
If they win a title this year, it really cements him now. Now you really let this, to me, I love it when a player can finish out his career with a team. I wish every player can do that. I'm saying that's how I grew up watching the game. Like once you would get the Reggie Jacksons and stuff that would move, but for the most part, you always had Cal Ripken, Jeter. You had people who were lifers on certain teams.
For a while,
Barry
Frank
Larkin.
Thomas.
Barry Thomas. Barry Larkin.
For a while, Frank Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Barry Larkin, like you mentioned. So many legacy players, and you termed it correctly, legacy players that have come and gone, and we don't see that anymore, and it blows chunks, man. We don't see that. It blows that we don't see that anymore.
I would have thought Freddie Freeman would have been that guy.
I thought he was going to be that guy too.
Same.
I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be a Brave for life.
After winning the title, I definitely thought he was going to be a Brave for life. And I think it hurt him as much as anything else that he didn't finish his career as he's not
in Atlanta.
We don't know it's not over yet. Yeah, but I'm sure he really regrets not being in Atlanta, even though he's in first place with the Dodgers. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just
who would you think would have been another legacy player but didn't finish their career there?
Andre Dawson comes to mind.
There's a question of the day.
Well, Hawk came from Montreal,
right?
And then unless you thought he would have finished his career in Montreal. But then he's more renowned. He's more known as a Cub.
With the Cubs.
You feel like a lot of people know Hawk from his days with the Cubs. A lot of people forget about the Montreal Expos days. But there's certain players that
Tim Raines and Warren.
It's another one, Gary Carter.
Carter,
another Expo. Who? But you now that when you think of him,
you think of him as
of the Mets.
Think of him
Actually, say Tony Gwynn is I love Tony Gwynn. He is the Padres. He is the San Diego Padres.
My favorite Padre of all time.
Tony Gwynn is the reason I know about the San Diego Padres. Number 19.
Same. Oh, here's a name that I thought.
And Tony Gwynn pissed off a lot of Cub fans and made me laugh my ass off in 1984.
So here's a name. Yeah, here's a name who I thought was going to be a legacy Dodger, actually, and it ended up not being Steve Garvey.
Yeah,
you mentioned Padres
because he had a tiff with Dodgers management, and he wound up going to San Diego.
I
believe it was 83. He wound up going to San Diego, and then 84.
Went to World Series with him.
You know what? I gotta find a clip here. We got about 6 minutes.
Who else?
Let me see. That's a good question, man. Let me see who else in baseball. Let me see if I can think of some more.
Oh man, no, not Ricky, not so much Ricky.
Ricky,
nah,
no,
not so much.
No,
Ricky.
You can't put Ricky. You can't put Ricky on that list, even though. Who would you regard him as, though? Who would
I regard him as? I regard him as an A more than the Yankees, but he played a lot of years with the Yankees, though.
Yes.
He played a lot of years with the Yankees.
Played a lot of years between those two teams. Speaking of A's, does the name Carney Lansford mean anything to y'all?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Yes.
I haven't heard that name in 30 years.
Carney, good old Carney Lansford played played third base for the Oakland Athletic.
For A's. Yep. You had
Yep.
Lansford at third. You had Weiss
Lansford at
at
third.
short.
Walt Weiss at short.
Second base was
oh shoot.
I just had his name. I just had his name in my head.
I forgot his name.
It wasn't Gallego.
This is where I have.
Oh man, I just had.
Was
his
it
head.
Gallego? Was it Gallego?
It might have. It could have.
Might have
I
been
don't remember.
Gallego. Yeah.
I don't remember, but I know somebody. And then McGuire at first.
Yeah,
McGuire
was the first.
Yep. And then, you know who played second base on that 88 team? Glenn Hubbard.
Yes. Wait.
Glenn Hubbard.
Yes, he did.
Longtime Brave turned Athletic.
So going to Chris
Glenn
Berman.
Hubbard was
Why am I hearing Glenn Mother Hubbard and Chris Berman's voice in my head?
In whose voice?
In Chris Berman's voice.
Other than John Sterling, because John Sterling makes some amazing names for Yankee players. Like the names he come up with, some of these Yankees.
Right, here comes the judge.
Yeah, some of the catchphrases he's come up with, especially for Yankee fans, they're just great. But Chris Berman is someone who just made who when he gave you a name, that was your name. Like,
yeah. This is an interesting one. And this is interesting.
Well, he started with San Diego.
That's where I was going to go with it.
He started with San Diego.
That's where I was going to go with
it. To
it.
me, it's different.
I
do remember him playing for San Diego.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of people think that he was a Cardinal all the way, but no. I remember seeing him as a Padre.
Yes.
And it looked strange when I saw him as a Cardinal. I'm like, wow, okay. I'm trying to think.
So imagine that had San Diego kept, like, because Winfield was a Padre.
Talent with the Padres.
Winfield was a Padre. Tony Gwynn. If Ozzie would have stood a Padre, imagine like they had some players, and then adding Garvey.
Yeah,
that would have been
that 84 squad would have been loaded if they had all of those players.
Yeah.
Then, no question. I'm trying to think who. Doggone, that's a good question. Who was a guy who I thought would be a legacy player and just wasn't? Oh man. Okay. No, I mentioned Garvey. I'm trying to think who another one.
I'm trying to see. Definitely Pudge Rodriguez.
True. Because I only thought of him as a Ranger. Yeah.
Yes, but he was a Tiger, a Yankee.
Yeah. I know he played for other teams, but I
think I thought he would have retired as a Ranger, definitely.
Let's see. Here's the funny thing. David Ortiz. I know he's not a legacy guy. I know he's not a legacy Red Sox, but
he is a legacy Red Sox, but not in the sense of the manner as you're talking about. Yes,
right. But I never. Let's see. I think it was 2014. I mean, he was well into his Red Sox career.
Yeah. When
I was like, he played for the Twins. Well into his career with the Red Sox. I mean, he already did some stuff with them, legendary stuff with them that will always cement him as a Red Sox player. And it was then when I said he was a Twin. Yeah. And for a few years, Twin. I'm like, wow,
he was a few years, but he wasn't Big Papi.
Right. Oh, no. Yeah, he became Big Papi with Boston. Oh, no question. No question. Trying to think. Oh man. Dang, that man, Brian asked a really good question there.
That was a good one.
Yeah. I like this one.
I like
this question.
Oh,
okay.
I would have thought old school. I would have thought, but no. You know what? Strawberry. I thought Strawberry should have been a Met. He should have been Met, legacy Met.
I thought I felt
are we still doing
Dwight Gooden should have been legacy Met.
Bermanisms?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Throw Bermanism out there.
John Mayberry RFD.
Oh gosh, I've heard that in the
That's the one that started it all.
I haven't heard that. Man,
Dan the man from Gladden.
Oh man, you throwing some stuff when when you and I both were in grammar school. Goodness gracious, man.
That's what hooked me on to Chris Berman. Those nicknames. Chris Cab Calloway, former Giant.
Barry U.S. Bonds.
Kirby Union Gap Puckett. What the?
Yeah, the names he used to come when he comes up.
Man, some of the names he would come up with. Former Chicago White Sox pitcher. Rich Dotson 280ZX.
Oh man, you bring up some good memories.
All right, 5 minutes after. Did we start the second hour yet?
Actually, we officially have not actually.
So, yeah.
But we can do that right about now.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Mister, will you please wake up?
There they go. 3-2 pitch. Fly ball deep left field. Hooking down the line. Hooking. There she goes. A grand slam. The Blue Jays have done it again. Steve Pearce with a 2-out grand slam to beat Oakland 8-4. Another walk-off home run after Morales did it last night. Home run number 9. His sweetest as a Blue Jay in 2017.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Now we begin hour number 2, and here's Big Ben on the line with us, courtesy of Fanatics. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning. How's it going? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Friday to you, man.
Friday it is.
We're tossing some Bermanisms out there, as well as chopping it up. Which do you remember any good ones?
Chris Berman?
Yes.
Bermanisms. Yeah.
Chris Berman.
Back. That one.
Yeah.
I've used that for a home run call quite a few times.
Yeah. I remember that. Also, when he used to do with Jackson, when they used to do the hit, I don't know what they called it, but that was another good one.
Yeah.
That they do. I forgot what they called it.
Oh, talking about Jacked Up.
Jacked up.
Yeah.
My favorite nickname that he did. He had to team up with Tom Jackson on this one. And well, you remember a Browns wide receiver who actually was named Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Every Berman didn't even come up with a nickname for him. Nope. He just cued Tom to do the every time. That's my favorite of all time. Michael Jackson.
one of my other favorites. Ben McDonald served it up. E-I-E-I. Oi.
Oh my.
Great, man.
And
great.
There's Gary Little Lady from D Sarcina.
Oh, I haven't heard that in a while.
And former New York Giant Dave Meggett. Berman got a hold of it and said, "Look at that little Meggett run." When he would come up with some of the wildest things. He would come up with some of the wildest nicknames. I threw one out before we officially started the second hour. Kirby Union Gap Puckett.
Well, Kirby Puckett did hit a lot of shots to the gap.
He did, a lot of shots into the gaps. Yeah, left and right center gaps. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Ben Sutter's with us as we're cutting things up here. Oh, Dietz is in on the fun. Chris Carter, all he does is catch touchdowns. That's another one.
That's another one he would use Tom Jackson on. Chris Carter, all he does catch touchdowns.
Or if someone came from Brown University,
or Louisville,
which is Tom Jackson's alma mater,
Louisville, right? Yeah, Lamar Jackson from Louisville.
Oh, thank you, Ryan McCarthy, for these. Barry U.S. Bonds, Daryl Strawberry Shortcake, and one of my other favorites, Mike Pepperoni Piazza.
Doggone it. I'm trying to remember. There was a player he used, and he did it with the song "Carry On My Wayward Son," but I cannot remember the player's name.
I'm trying to remember. I know who you're talking about. I can't place the name. Hey Ben, what are a couple of your favorites?
Man, there's a lot. He was really great at what he did, and he also made you laugh at the same time.
Yes.
But, yeah, it was. I would probably say the home run derby one. I think was my favorite. And then when they did the jacked up, those are probably two of my favorite that I can remember.
Yeah, whenever he did the home run derby. You know what I hate now? They brought NFL primetime back, but they put it behind a freaking paywall. Man.
They put it behind a paywall.
They put it behind it. They put it behind a paywall.
To me, it's still the best studio football program.
Okay,
ever.
Who didn't look forward to NFL primetime? With Tom Jackson, and then Pete Axthelm a little later, and then a couple of other folks came in a little later.
And the NFL now has the NFL Plus. I don't know if you guys seen that. So they're gonna be putting content on there.
I have
probably gonna be putting Thursday night games on there. I'm assuming maybe eventually.
Good.
So that's a whole nother thing.
But they're gonna still televise it live because the Shield is huge.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think McCarthy found it.
There we go.
Mark, carry on my
wayward son. Yep.
Here's one. Mike, you're in good hands with All Stott. Current coach, former Colorado player, Eric sleeping with the enemy. See, and then there's this one. The official Bermanism was Juan Canadian Guzman.
Right.
Oh, here's another one. I think was him. Was it Fred the Crime Dog McGriff? I don't know.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
And it got so popular. Other people started to use it.
Oh, you know what? Ryan McCarthy's coming up with some great ones. Jake, daylight come and we want to alone. I haven't heard some of these in a minute. Hey, tweet the show at official SIT Morn, or use us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Pinterest. We got a Pinterest ID. What are some of your favorite Bermanisms? Ben Sutter III joining us here as we're chopping it up, talking about Chris Berman. Man, I hate that they put NFL primetime behind a paywall. That sucks.
Yeah.
I would have to wait until they put the clips up on YouTube or something like that. There you go.
Chris Calloway.
Chris Calloway.
Yep. Howdy ho. Yeah, here's another one. Bert be home by 11.
Be home by 11.
What? Yeah. You know what? Bert be home by 11. And Bert loved that nickname that he got. He absolutely loved it. Here's a good one. Todd Highway to Helton. You can't go wrong when you have Chris Berman give you a nickname.
All right.
George Brett said it. If you got a nickname from Chris Berman, you have arrived.
You officially made it.
You officially made it if you get a nickname from Chris Berman.
Yeah.
Chris Berman.
He's right.
Oh, goodness gracious. There are just so many.
Yeah.
Andre Bad Moon Rising. Andre Bad Moon Rising.
And of course then
and right,
he didn't
we get this from Drew Albert Winnie the Pooh.
Now, of course, he didn't create the nickname, but I always loved it when he and when he and Tom Jackson would do this whenever we see an interception for him. Prime time. Every time they had an interception, the two of them would just start to do the chant.
Start to do the prime time chant. Oh, here you go. Mustache
Raleigh
himself.
chicken
Raleigh
fingers.
chicken fingers.
Mm.
Now, if that don't scare you and make you hungry at the same time, nothing will, okay?
How did he come up with?
I'm
just so amazed.
Come up with some of these.
I'm so amazed.
How did he come up? Oh, a former safety, Martin Mayhew.
Oh, Drew said that actually is a Stuart Scott one.
Stuart Scott name. Okay.
So Ben, did you hear about what happened with Terrell Owens?
I did pass by something as I was perusing the internet.
So see, Ben was perusing social media. So in your discovery of this, Ben, what did you find?
Yeah, it's so as far as
Ben perused social media. God help us. What'd you find?
So as far as I understand, he was doing some type of speech, and I guess all I seen was harassment, but I didn't click on the link.
Okay, so what happened was
whatever it was,
Terrell Owens. So in Broward County, Florida, I guess him and his neighbor got into an altercation.
Oh no!
She accused him of trying to run him over. He ran a stoplight, whatever stop sign, trying to run her over. Got out his car and became aggressive towards her and all that. So of course he was recording the whole thing. And so at one point the lady comes out and says, "Look at you, look at this. You're a black man, and I'm like you're a black man approaching a white woman."
Oh no!
Oh God!
And he has her recorded saying this, and like I guess she called the cops and all that, but the cops came and everything. But again, he was recording the whole thing. So had he not recorded, who knows what the situation would have been like.
Yeah. Phones have saved a lot of people's behinds, and it's been able to provide proof for what exactly happened. But as far as T.O., yeah, she must didn't know who he was, number one. But I think number two, like, what does that have to do? Just because he's black and he's approaching you, like, I guess that was her way of trying to be a Karen. I guess she was already a Karen. But yeah, I didn't. So I didn't read a lot into it yet, but I'm probably gonna follow up on it. But yeah, it's another one of those crazy stories, especially with somebody T.O.'s status and stardom. I mean, like it's not like he's just some random guy. So I wonder if she looked him up when she got home.
Well, then supposedly
Andrew joining us from the chat. I saw the video. Absolutely insane. Yeah, it was. I'll share this story before we go to a break. I was in Durham, North Carolina at a Starbucks, one of my familiar spots where I would set up and do the show, Cole, as you know, because you would hang out with me whenever I'm in Durham. Do you know someone came up to me and I thought he was interested, and he asked me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting ready to do a radio show." Do you know this idiot launched into me about using the store's internet? And he said, "I'm going to report you to the regional manager. Go right the blank ahead. They don't mind me being here. In fact, they love me being here. I'll get more respect than you will."
Did he work there?
No. He was a customer like I was.
Oh.
He was I had a gentleman gave me a gift card, apologizing, saying, "I'm sorry you had to deal with that quote unquote coffee Karen." I'm like, "Look, hey, you guys like him for breakfast. I don't care." He said, "Well, you still didn't have to deal with him." And I said, well, thank you. And the regional manager came in the next day, pulled me aside, and said, don't worry about that blankety blank. We love you. We love you being here. We love you doing your show here. We will promote you, and we will help you with anything that you need. The guy came back a week later, tried the same thing. I said, hey kid, in case you don't notice, they like me and they hate you. Never saw his ass again.
I think it's more so the level and the audacity of people that think they have control over something that they don't.
Right.
That's the annoying part. Like, you don't work at the Starbucks, number one. You don't own the Starbucks. You're not Mr. Starbucks. So what they're like, and then this back to the TO situation too. Like, who gave you authority, or who said that you were ruler over everything? Because you're not.
Right.
And quiet as kept, you weren't here when it was discovered. We're not gonna get into that story.
We're not gonna get Ben Sutter joining us here on the program as we zip through hour 2. Ben, thank you very much. Next week we'll crank up the football talk. We love you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Real quick, let me say this. Wise, El Jefe, and Papa J show will be debuting tonight at 10 p.m. And then also my wife is rebooting her podcast, Life Coaching 360. That'll be at 7:30 Central. So BS3 has got content every day, and looking forward to Wise and Life Coach 360 tonight.
Yeah. We love being on BS3's network.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Ben.
Appreciate
Thank you
it,
so
Ben.
much for
Thank you, Ben.
allowing this show to anchor your network in the mornings. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, guys.
All right, let's go to a break, and let's do some more Bermanisms before you know who gets here. Oh, Wise El Jefe and Cole Johnson. I'm the Snowman. Back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Course, Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez,
And it's caught! Deebo Samuel with the catch! Michael Jordan can sense.
The Fro just got the king! BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold, hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life-holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
And again, the 1-2 pitch on the way to Saunders. Swing and a fly ball deep to right field. Bautista going back to the track to the ball. Get out the rye bread and mustard, Grandma. It is grand salami time. Michael Saunders with a grand slam home run, the first of the year for the Mariners. Here in the top of the 10th inning, would you believe it? And it's now the Mariners 9 and the Blue Jays 5. Saunders' second home run and as many at-bats. Holy smokes! And the Mariners lead 9-5 on the grand slam home run off the bat of Saunders. Dave D. House, that's for you, buddy.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it? It's the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts. Every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
Hey, Toe Man, they're waiting for you. This is Snowman in the Morning.
Back at it. Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, hour number 2.
Oh.
And in less than 10 minutes into the Boom Shakalaka with Chris Bass, will be here. I'm sorry, sir. What were you saying?
I was saying nothing really. I was just saying, hey, tall man here. That's all.
Oh. Oh, well, and Dr. K, your tall man is doing wonderful today.
Oh, there was another nickname that was up there. Fettuccine Alfredo Griffin.
Oh, that's one of my favorite ones.
Courtesy of Ryan McCoffey. And remember, on Monday, Ryan joins us. Ryan joins us every Monday. Now we got to kill 9 minutes. I already said Kirby Union got Puckett. You know how we kill 9 minutes? We do this.
Joker. I'm sorry.
Do it again.
Joker.
That's a cue of us going off the board for. That's a cue for us going off the board. Thank you for that. Game shows is not the sub. Well, I got to create a general graphic for. Bermanisms is the subject. You know what? Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris Deeds. Carlos, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, 3 if by erga. That one's up there.
Yeah, that is
1 if by land, 2 if by sea, 3 if by erga. Former Patriot tight end Ben Winter Coates.
Oh, that one is a classic.
Those are some good ones.
That one is a classic.
That's a classic. Hey, y'all keep them coming. AB Media 83, one of the folks who rode to a snowman and wife's rescue last evening out of Indianapolis, Indiana, joining us here on the program. We're doing Bermanisms. You know what? Let's stay off the board and let's talk old school game shows. Let's go back to that subject because you know one I didn't mention.
Which one?
Anybody remember name that tune?
Yes. You're talking to Cole. Look at Cole's face. Like look Cole's face. Like,
there you go.
That question.
Two hosts did that show. In the 70s, it was Tom Kennedy, and in the 80s, it was Jim Lang.
Yeah, I remember both. Tom Kennedy is the one that I remember.
We're all over off the board today. Dave Prince Rigetti. And former Colt, Joseph Live and Let a Die. We're loving it. Keep it. Keep them coming, y'all.
Miguel Tejada, they come, Tejada, they fall.
Tejada. I'm still stuck on Carlos. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, 3 if by air. We said Albert Winnie the Pujols. Frank Thomas had his own nickname, courtesy of Ken the Hawk Harrelson, the Big Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You got Rockin' Robin Ventura. I think that was one.
Mm-hmm.
Said Barry you
Yeah, Barry U.S. Bonds. You've said that one, yeah.
Bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Said you. Oh no. One of my old favorite, Tanana Daiquiri. And Tanana was one of the nastiest left-handed pitchers I've ever seen.
Jeff Conine, the Barbarian.
Conine,
I haven't
the
heard
Barbarian.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one.
Of course, for Berman,
Conine,
a generic one. Sammy Say It Ain't Sosa.
Sammy Say It Ain't Sosa. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! This one's for you.
Brown Paper Bagwell.
Called Brown Paper Bagwell, and
yes, sir.
I remember his partner Craig Matinee at the Biggio.
Biggio. I like that one better, actually. Yeah, Matinee at the Biggio. I like
former Houston Astro Kevin Smallmouth Bass.
Oh, and he would interchange it. Sometimes if he had an okay game with smallmouth, if he had a big game, he would actually.
It was big mouth.
Yeah, Kevin Small. No, actually, big mouth bass. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Wally Absorbing Joyner.
Oh wow.
Former Angel.
Yeah.
Absorbing Joyner. Oh no. Joe McGrain Headache, former lefty pitcher for the Cardinals. Former lefty pitcher for the Cardinals, Joe McGrain Headache. I remember Brown. I remember Brown Paper Bagwell because when they would wrap up the World Series games in 2005, he would use that. Jeff Brown Paper Bagwell.
Yeah. Al Cigarette Lighter.
Al Cigarette Lighter. Damn it. Here you go.
Mike
Nova
Scotia.
Nice.
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. Former Dodgers catcher, former Angels manager.
Oh Lord.
Real John Let It Be Lowenstein.
Oh
yes,
Lord.
John Let It Be Lowenstein. That actually.
And then there's Chris One Bad Malafala. He's a bad Malafala.
He's a bad Malafala. Here you go. Oh, to be young again, McDowell.
Wow, that's a name that I haven't heard.
I haven't heard that in years.
The nickname too, but the name itself I haven't heard in years. Wow.
Yes. Oh, to be young again, McDowell. All right, I'm tired of waiting. We're 120 seconds early. Push the button, man.
All right.
Don't soil this program by putting crap on it. Joe Buck, I cannot take him. I just no dice. I'm glad Carlos Boozer finally took the kiwi off his face. It should be on your shoes, not your face. It's kiwi shoe polish, for God's sake. LeBron should come clean about his age. I wish baby Jesus that I had alcohol in this container because I need some after watching Screaming Nate Smith.
Baby Jesus? Really?
6 pounds, 7 ounces. Go tell 5 of your friends and 8 of your enemies that Chris Bass will be in the air.
And here he is, the one, the only Chris Bass, as we entered the Boom Shakalaka. How are you, sir?
And a hearty boom shakalaka to all of you, to Rain Man, to Cole, and to Wise. You know, I feel like Black Romper Room for doing this. Romper Room was a children's program back in the day. And the teacher at the end had this psychedelic mirror, and then all of a sudden she could see all these people all throughout, TV land. I see Bobby and Cindy, and Shaniqua and Bobo, and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm the black version of Romper Room while I address the panel here. So thank you very much.
Oh my!
He said Shaniqua.
Shaniqua and
Yeah,
Bobo.
Shaniqua,
I ain't never had no Shaniqua in Romper Room though.
No. We're talking about the ghetto
Bear.
Yeah.
version.
Wait a
Yeah. Ray, TT, Pookie, Nim.
It's always a junior.
And it's always a junior.
Yep. With the
When they bring the dog king.
Bear. This is when you need Bootzilla or somebody with that psychedelic.
Not Bootzilla.
Oh yeah, I mean, like most children, you watch it, and she had that magic mirror, and she had the back of the mirror you would see. Then this psychedelic trip will go in there and turn around. Then she comes back. Somebody stole the back of her mirror, and she's seeing through the television land of all the wonderful children out there with their bright, shiny faces and crayons up their noses.
Oh my gosh. I always ask this question of what runs through your mind. This is a good rational understanding is what does. How do you come up with all this stuff and you file it in your memory banks to pull out?
It's a very interesting question, Cole, for asking that. As a radio personality, I was told a long time ago to be yourself, and then to be yourself and try to find a way for it to be entertaining. Now, I describe my Friday show baseline as very simple. The show was informative and somewhat entertaining. That's my mission statement for years. And so when you embrace your insanity, you're pretty much doing all right.
Look at that. Look at that nugget of wisdom. When you embrace your insanity.
Your insanity.
Hey, it makes sense.
Oh, it does. It does. It does. Because I know some people
this
sometimes
shows its sanity 5 days a week. If that's the case, this show embraces its sanity 5 days a week, man.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I know there's many people that probably look at all of us and say,
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
because it took me a while to embrace my insanity too.
Mm-hmm. But you have to. I mean, in order for you to galvanize your programs, it's galvanized by the host or team. Mm-hmm. And so who they are, makes people come in and the draw of the host and what they're doing. So that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes skill. It takes practice. It's one of those things you do it over and over again, and you find yourself finding your voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Prime
I
example.
just love what he said. When you embrace your insanity.
Mm-hmm.
See, that nugget right there makes the whole week. Because there's some people that are insane as hell and they don't embrace it.
Yeah.
They just don't.
And I feel sorry for them. Look, we all know there's some crazy momofukus out here. And if they don't know their yas from a hole in the wall.
You are the master of censoring. I love it.
I have now learned a new cuss word.
Well, here's the story behind that. So when I was back at WLS, when I used to fill in for various hosts, a lady called in to my boss. Her name was Mike Elder, operations manager, and said that I cussed too much. Now, the only cuss words I would use, the ones you can use on an FCC radio station. You use damn and stuff like that.
Right.
But she complained. My boss got back to me. Mike was like, I know you don't cuss, but maybe try to scale back a little bit. Okay, fine. Then I figured, okay, let me invent my own cuss words.
Right.
So that way I can scale back without being offensive. So I invented Goddamula, for example, which is my personal favorite. And then Momofuku, which is actually a restaurant here in Chicago on the north side. It's a Japanese restaurant. Side boob is another one. So I would insert these words instead of cussing because, you don't want to offend the audience. Right. So if I make up my own words, I'm not offending anybody.
I would use teams that I hate in place of cuss words. Because sometimes I would just spit out, what the Detroit Pistons was that? And people would look at me and go, what? And this is when I was cutting my teeth doing radio when I was at Chicago State. And then Bass taught me that, retaught me that lesson, when we worked together at PSI. I would just use teams or players that I hate. And once I was on a train, I was on the L, and something passed me. And I said, what the Chicago Cubs was that? Not realizing what train I was on and where it was stopping.
So you want to know side.
Right by Raggedy Field. Train zips to Addison just as I say, what the Chicago Cubs was that? And they showed up. Oops.
So it now makes me glad that that a certain figure was not plying his trade when you thought of this. Because you would use that name with just about everything.
Listen, my hatred for the Cubs goes well beyond where to go, Sammy. Thank you, Bass, for that.
That is awesome.
Thank you, Bass, for that. I told this story on the air, and the night that the Scrubs won the World Series, I hid in my house. I didn't come out for 2 days because people were shooting. They were lighting up fireworks. And this is November 2nd, 2016. I had pizza.
Right.
I had beer. I had food. I wasn't coming out the house because the Cubs won. What's a segment I often did? The Cub-pocalypse began that night.
All right, so I guess it begs me to ask the question to you, Mr. Bass. Are you a Cubs or White Sox fan?
I'm mostly a White Sox fan, but I don't follow baseball like that. I'm a fan of the sports that I hear in my hometown and beyond. I gave the Cubs a free pass because I thought about my grandfather, God rest his soul. And my grandfather was an avid baseball fan. So he would watch baseball games, period. So whether it was Chicago Cubs, this is when, of course, back in the day when they had day games only. So he would watch that or watch the White Sox
on
at
WGN.
Night. And he would watch all these games. So he was just an avid baseball fan. So when the White Sox won it and when the Cubs won it, I thought about my grandfather. So that I give him a free pass on that one.
Well,
I had the unfortunate.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Looks like our friend is in a holding pattern.
Yes.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
It does.
Technical difficulties happen.
Now, okay.
Oh,
you're
okay.
Okay. So yeah. So all right, you're a Chicagoan, and it's funny you mentioned your grandfather. How special, as a Chicagoan, how special was it that you had a team that did not play night games until they decided to put lights in Wrigley?
Well, from baseball fans that I talked to, I mean, it was a game changer, literally. And I here's the thing, I don't have a problem with fans. I have a problem with fanatics. It's two different lanes.
Same.
So the fanatics, they can go kick rocks, but the fans who are just there to support and not the way to go, Sammy, not those guys and gals. I mean, don't get me wrong, man, I told you that whole thing was it was ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong having a good time at the ballpark, but you get all those old styles up in you, and you create a new style. Because anytime you drink, we was counting behind us, we counted at least about 7 to 8 tall cans of old style by that point, and they were like just, oh my God, oh this game, oh way to go, Sammy. I mean, everybody was Sammy. Hell, we were Sammy.
So you mean
everybody was Sammy?
So you mean to tell me Mark McGwire was Sammy Sosa?
Yes.
Look, I told you it was the Cubs versus the Braves. David Justice.
Everybody,
big
slugger that came
Greg
into
Maddox.
town.
Everybody
every
was
big
Sammy.
slugger that came into town to face the Cubs was Sammy.
Everybody by the fifth inning,
that was Sammy's. They were Sammy's replacement.
And by the fifth inning, everybody was Sammy Sosa. It was the damnedest of shame.
Wow.
And
what beer was they drinking to have them think that?
You know what they call it? They call Raggedy Field the world's largest beer garden.
I go along with
because
that.
they served.
I can believe that.
Back in the day, they served beer up until the 8th inning. Now they cut it off at, I believe, the 6th inning. But they didn't cut off Harry Carey.
Oh, and they never cut him off.
When Harry
It's
Carey would
entertaining.
start his broadcast on WGN, and as Base mentioned, this is when there were only day games, he would have a pitcher about this big, full of beer.
I bet you it wasn't full when the broadcast was over.
No, it was not. I mean, by the time the 10th inning started, the post-game show called the 10th inning.
The 10th inning. Mm-hmm.
That sumbitch was empty.
I think Harry Carey had an IV of beer into
That's
his
what I'm
arm while he was
thinking.
broadcasting.
Oh gosh!
Because I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody got to the point where it became like, I guess, a Cubs national treasure. And I love Harry Carey. Listen to him on the radio.
Same.
Those type of people, like we just lost Vince Scully. When you're able to describe games and paint that picture, that's an art form. It's sad to a degree that he became like a laughing stock. But he made a good of it. He was Budman, the old Blues Brothers like type commercials, for Bud beer, Budweiser. So he made the best of it. But I still get a kick out of him when I listen to him on the radio, on the TV. Coming up to the plate. Oh my.
Slurring on the mic.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Sammy Sosa.
And his reactions in a big situation when the Cubs would fail were just priceless. They could have the bases loaded and no outs, and then you get a ground out, you get a force out at the plate, you get a strikeout, and then you have 2 out, bases loaded, full count, and the runners would take off, and someone would pop it up, and you would just hear Harry go, "Oh."
The times I did watch baseball with the Cubs, I mean, the 7th inning stretch was always entertaining.
Oh, of course.
Harry got to the point was like, "You sing, I'll do some, but you sing. All right,
yes.
Let me hear you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah.
Two.
Organist is warming up.
Me out to the ball. I mean, and you sing it. It's like, damn me, you sing it.
And
'Cause
he's
it's
waving the
one,
microphone.
Hey, let's get some rock.
You're out at the old ball. Ray.
Let's get some rock.
He would skip everything, go right to Ray.
Yes.
Because there's 1, 2.
Ray.
Beyond entertaining, I'm telling you. But let me also say what's on my mind, because
yes, sir.
We're losing our Giants. Our Giants are being called home, whether it's Michelle Nichols, the actress Mary Alice. I mentioned before about Vince Scully. Before them, the great actor Paul Sorvino.
Yeah.
And for me, number 6, Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
Who, right to this day, someone like a Bill Russell, in my mind, never dies. He's accomplished so much off the court and on the court, it cannot be measured. There's this viral video that's I think the NBA put out. It was an award ceremony, and it's Bill Russell at the mic, and he points to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Dikembe Mutombo, and David Robinson, and says, "I will beat your ass."
Yep.
And he was right. And you can't touch a legacy like that. And one thing I did find out was he also, in certain circles, did not go by Bill Russell. He went by Felton X, because he was practicing Islam, the Nation of Islam. And the routine, when you become a part of that, you get rid of your European name and replace it with X. And Felton being his middle name, he went by Felton X in certain circles. So the man was revolutionary and dynamic and a champion that goes beyond the court.
And something that he said was very poignant that really hit home. He said, "I don't play for Boston. I play for the Celtics."
Nice.
That lets you know how in tune he was with the times that were going on.
Yeah. I can't remember the exact quote or how he said it, but he basically said when asked, "So, how is it playing in Boston?" And he basically just reeled off a list of when you deal with bigots and racists in the arena, then when you deal with racists and bigots outside the arena, and you deal with the blue collar racists in Boston. And he said, oh yeah, and the intellectual racists, because you do have Harvard and you do have Boston College, you have all these other colleges. There are a whole ton of racists there, and dealing with all of them, it's horrible. But other than that, it's great. That to me, so that to me typified Bill Russell. And when I would see clips of him on the court, yeah, he was dynamic. But when I saw clips of him off the court, it was such a breath of fresh air to see him so dignified and so classy. And I'm not talking about in his older age. I'm talking about when he was playing in his 20s and 30s, dignified, in self-controlled, self-contained. One where you were asked the question, does anything rile him or rattle him? And he would give you that impression that it doesn't. And you would hear stories of he wanted to let you know that you were not going to intimidate him. In fact, he wanted to intimidate you. He said there was times where he would wear capes to places, and people would look at him and have that drawn back feel. And that's what Russell wanted you to have, because he wanted you to know that no one was going to intimidate him. And I thought that was so great of him.
And he really didn't start winning until Russell got there, when he was drafted from the University of San Francisco. They won 2 national championships then, along with his teammate, Casey Jones.
Who came along with them to the pros. Yeah,
exactly. So, they know what they were getting. They did a really good research to recruit these two and to see the greatness that these two have produced, because Casey Jones went on to coach the Celtics and won a championship. So he won the same championship the year that John Thompson won his championship for Georgetown that same year. So championship can also mean, again, not on the floor or field, also when you handle yourself, you said before about dignity, off the field, off the court, is also being a champion.
Yeah, and to me, it's a wonderful point, Base, because to me, that is how I look at him as a champion, more than the 11 rings he has. Is that he's a champ. He is, I know he's dead, but he is a champion of a human being.
Right.
And you're right. That's a legend that you simply cannot forget, because he just impacted so much to so many.
That's what happens. And let me also, on a side note, for broadcasters out there, for public service announcement, make sure you clean your equipment. Now, the reason why I mentioned it is because I was having a flashback, and I was back at WLS again. I was a fill-in talk show host, and I was getting a lot of work filling in for a lot of people calling in sick. So I was like, I remember one time I'm sitting at home, and I got the call to fill in for 2 people, then 3 more people. Like the next week, I'm like, well, I hope nothing going around. So don't be wrong, it's good for me. I'm getting more exposure, but I'm wondering what's going on while people are taking time off. And I used to have a mic screen, but I got to look at the microphone. It was just like this. It's a RE, it's a Electro Voice RE20. But this is black, obviously. Another one back in the day was gray. So I took a look at it, and all these chunks of food and dried up spit, and I said, hell, don't worry about getting sick. The mic is not clean. So I always had a mic screen on top of the mic no matter where I went, but you have to practice safe broadcasting.
Man, it's
not
funny.
Just safe sex, safe broadcasting.
It is absolutely hilarious that you're telling me this. All right, so for those who don't know, my wife was also in communications as well, and she would tell me, and she was a program director, and she would tell me that when she would go into the when she would go into the booth, she would see the boards, the mixing boards, all caked up with nicotine. And that is not, and it's just nicotine all over the place. It smelled like cigarette smoke. And then you get to the mic, which was what caked on food and cigarette smoke and people's bad breath. So yeah, she would say, she drilled into them like, clean this booth because the crap you're doing is going to mess all of this stuff up. And you do not want to have that be taken out of your checks because you're not taking care of the booth.
Right.
So yes, I yeah, and in hearing her say that, I totally agree. Yes, practice safe broadcasting and safe sex too.
There you go. You got to strap up. You know, you got to put the dome on, and it will save you. I kid you not.
Yeah.
And on a serious note, last Friday on my Baseline show, I decided to have a homegoing and a funeral. So me being the resident pastor, I buried Start Over last Friday.
What?
I buried Start Over last Friday, July 29th, 2022.
Whoa! Wait, when did this happen?
Last Friday, because you got to bury stupidity.
You got to bury stupidity. Okay.
And
so why?
Yeah.
Why was last Friday your breaking point, sir?
Because I'm tired. Look at me. I'm old. All right. I'm old man base. I don't take this crap from people no more. I didn't like when I was younger, and I damn sure don't like it now. It doesn't make any sense. And once again, Walter is a broadcaster like us. Something's not right up here. See, and he calls me up that same night. Hey man, how you gonna bury me and bury Start Over? Because I did. Because I did.
Just so you can catch up, Brian. Bay said that he retired Mr. Start Over, but because basically he was like this.
I'm getting too old for this.
Thank you, Shy McBride. Thank you. Thank you. That's it.
I got something even I got something even better than that. And Mr. Start Over has finally been retired. Thank the Lord for that.
Yes.
We have our own Mr. Start Over now.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
We have our thanks to that, we have our own Mr. Start Over.
Yes.
And with Mr. Start Over for Bass, I can imagine so many times Bass wanting to say,
I don't remember asking you a thing.
I love that man.
I love that man.
I love that man. I mean, great drops. And once again, see the thing about going back to Walter is that he's anti everything.
Really?
And this is someone I consider a good, close personal friend, which sucks.
Yep.
Yes.
So, dude, you come after me and cut up my show and come up with this ignorant stuff about Start Over. He's working because he's a jazz radio host.
Right.
I cannot wait. You think about me praying to baby Jesus 6 pounds.
Here we go. Here it is.
I cannot wait for him to get his show so I can butcher it up just like he does with mine. You have no idea.
You know what?
It's a damn disadvantage.
We get our Walter like early in the show.
Like with the
like you started this morning. He said he comes in, he says, "Good morning." Start the show over. And it's like with your late bride, Bass would say to you, and you would tease her a lot. "Good morning, dear. How you doing?" F you. That's about what we're getting with this fool.
I don't understand it.
That is about what we're getting with this fool.
Oh Lord.
Every time. And thank God Rod comes on 5 days a week with us to hang out.
We love Rod. We love Rod.
Yeah, Rod is cool.
We love Rod. But sometimes I just want to say to Rod, just to tease him,
Stay off the weed.
So,
and not only that, I want to tell him this.
Shut up, fool.
So, are you saying that your friend, Mr. Bass, does this?
So good.
No, I don't think he does. And that's an insult to weed smokers. It really is. That's an insult to somebody getting their weed on. So
no. It's an insult to weed. It's insult to weed smokers that are irresponsible. And that's where I wanted to go.
But this is him sober, with no type of drugs or anything in the system. He's just that annoying without the weed. So that's the thing that bothers me.
That is frightening.
That's frightening.
That is frightening.
Annoying on weed though. I don't understand that. Like, how can you be annoying on
If I
weed?
know,
Like,
if I know bass,
you're more than likely sitting on a couch munching on something.
If I know bass as well as I do, there are times he wants to say
English. Do you speak it?
Yes. Yeah. Now the thing about it is that when you sometimes I compare it to Pet Cemetery.
Oh
So
no!
because I buried it, it will come back to haunt me. So if you're around today when I do the show, watch. It will come back because again, someone like him, you tried to bury. I did the funeral, Omnos Dominoes. I put the holy water on them. I got some of this blessed by myself, and then went on. Right, I had to bless it. So I'm those dominoes. So I blessed it and did the whole thing.
Those dominoes.
Right, I'm those dominoes. So I did that, but again, like most horror movies, they'll come back.
You know what? And I gotta give Bass this because he told me this while we were in our days at PSI. You know what's gonna happen? You give him the dominoes and you bless him and everything. He's gonna come back and go, I curse you. I curse you.
It's sad. It is sad.
Is.
And
it
really
is.
And all you have to do is say this to this.
I've said that.
He said he has. He said that in many different ways.
Yeah.
There are very few times I would see Bass's eyes widen, but when Walter shows up,
it seems like I time it just right. I always time it right when Walter shows up, so I get to catch the interaction. And I'm just dying over here. I'm like in the studio, just dying my ass off. Just almost cursed there, but
that's all
right. But it's like
Friday.
It's like I'm just rolling because bass goes in, and I mean bass goes in.
He goes in and goes
I
off.
bet he does go in.
But
He goes in and goes off. And I love that.
Let me tell you something. This weekend, if all goes correct, I'm working on
man.
putting a call-in phone number for my baseline show. So I got to do some checking, obviously. But if all goes well, I'm going to do that, and then you'll hear the voice of death. Walter will call in and give me grief, so you can hear the pain I go through. Walter's type of person, like, wow, you almost cussed. I almost cuss, and I cuss on the regular. I try to hold it back sometimes.
Right,
but
right.
Walter, formerly Mr. Start Over, will make Jesus come off the cross.
Lord have mercy.
He
stigmata and all. I'm not lying.
I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. But okay.
All right.
I'm telling you.
This is
He could. Wow.
That's the boom shakalaka for this Friday.
Yeah, man.
When we're talking about making Jesus come off the cross, we got to go.
Yep. You look up, no cross.
But you look up, no cross, and no Jesus on the damn cross.
Nope.
Oh man.
Wow.
My homie from Chicago, Chris Bass, joining us as he does every Friday at the bottom of hour 2. You've been inside the boom shakalaka. Thank you, Bass. We love you. Thank you so
brothers.
much.
Have a great weekend. Thank you so much.
You too, brother.
I'll be stopping by later on.
Same
cool.
here.
Do that.
Yeah.
Same here.
And I got your message, Chris. I'm gonna do that for you.
Thank you, brother.
We love you, Bass. We love you.
More. Take care, brothers. Take care.
Later.
You too, brother.
Close this thing out, please.
Lord have mercy. Only Bass.
Don't soil this program by putting crap on it. Joe Buck, I cannot take him. I just no dice. I'm glad Carlos Boozer finally took the kiwi off his face. It should be on your shoes, not your face. It's kiwi shoe polish, for God's sake. LeBron should come clean about his age. I wish baby Jesus that I had alcohol in this container because I need some after watching Screaming A. Smith.
Baby Jesus, really?
6 pounds 7 ounces. Go tell 5 of your friends and 8 of your enemies that Chris Bass will be in the air.
The final hour of Snowman in the Morning for the week begins now. Michael?
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Grant with that jump shot's off. Long rebound run down by Hodges, and here's the King. That's a 3.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
It is the final hour of Friday and the final hour of the week of Snowman in the Morning with YZFA with Brian Snow. I am Cole Johnson. And we now are at the time of the year where we get a chance to talk football.
And lots of it. And to help us out, we have our senior NFL insider who's in his 5th season with the show, Mr. Mike Debate, joining us. Good morning, Mike. Glad to have you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Always an honor, always a pleasure to join you. It's Friday, no better way to end the week, and we got a great one on tap for today. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yes, we do. We're diving into the AFC West, and why don't we just let's just dive right in right now. We'll look at all 4 teams and see who's going to take that. See who's going to take the AFC West, because it seems to be one of the more popular divisions. We'll start with the Kansas City Chiefs. Is this their division to lose, or do they get a challenge this year?
I think they're going to have a challenge on their hands this year, and I think every team in this division is capable of challenging the Chiefs. And look, the Chiefs are still going to be a very good team. I know a lot of people want to try to write them off now as a team that's not going to be as dominant because Tyreek Hill is no longer in a Chiefs uniform. But last I looked, they still have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They still have Marquez Scantling. They still got Juju Smith-Schuster. There's a lot of guys on this team that can, really, contribute. Not to mention Sky Moore and Travis Kelce at the tight end position. But ultimately, they still have Patrick Mahomes. And as long as you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league calling plays and giving your team an opportunity to win each and every snap, you have to be considered a formidable opponent. And the Chiefs will continue to do so in 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know this is going to look wrong, but I don't care. Let's go to this. Let's talk about some Superchargers. Step timeout away from the playoffs. How, Mike Debate, do the San Diego Chargers? I know they're in Los Angeles, but how do the San Diego Chargers get over the hump, man?
Well, you know that we have an affinity. Brian and I have an affinity for the greatest hype song in the history of the NFL.
Yes,
the old San Diego Superchargers song.
San Diego Superchargers.
Anytime I get a chance to, absolutely, anytime I get a chance to talk about the team, I cut my journalistic teeth covering. It's always a good option. Look, Justin Herbert always gives you an opportunity to win. And I said this earlier about Patrick Mahomes. When you have a quarterback that's capable of taking the team on his back and giving you an opportunity to win each and every game, you're always going to have a puncher's chance no matter what. But look, the wideout room to me, I think, is something that is going to improve for the Chargers this year. I like the fact that Josh Palmer is set to take another step in his second season. Jalen Guyton, I think, is a quality 4th wideout to add to that group that already includes Mike Williams, and of course you can't forget Kellen at the beginning. So it's going to be a lot of different opportunities for the Chargers to win, but where they're going to really, I think, make leaps and bounds this year is in on defense, especially when you look at somebody that needed to come in and help pair with Joey Bosa. He was at his best when he had Melvin Ingram. Now all of a sudden you bring in Khalil Mack, you bring in J.C. Jackson, who I think is still going to be an elite corner in this league. That solidifies both sides of the ball for the Chargers. So it's going to be an interesting team. The X factor here for the Chargers, in my opinion, is Austin Eckler. And I think if he continues to progress the way he's progressed these last few seasons, that's going to be a potent offense Pair that with a very tough defense. The Chargers are going to be a tough out no matter when they take the field.
Speaking of a tough out, there's another tough out of the AFC West. They're in Las Vegas. They're called the Raiders. They made the playoffs last year, nearly came back and beat the eventual AFC champion in the Cincinnati Bengals. Devontae Adams now joins Derek Carr. How potent can this how potent can this quarterback receiver tandem be? And how potent can the Raiders be offensively?
Well, that's going to be the big key right there. I mean, when you look at Derek Carr and the weapons that he has, you add Devontae Adams into that mix. Already had Hunter Renfrow there, had Darren Waller. These guys can all be great third down options. They can get open quickly, but Devontae Adams changes the complexity of that offense. All of a sudden, you have a guy that can not only take the top off the defense on the perimeter, but if you need him to do it, he can slap down into the slot and play very effectively there as well. He doesn't do it as much, but he does have the capability. Offensive line, Brian, big question mark here. That's the biggest question mark for this team. We talk about it all the time. If you don't get the offensive line protection, it's not going to matter what the skill position players do, and the quarterback's going to be running for his life. So Colton Miller, Andre James, you need them to step up. They're your big-time starters. They're the guys you're going to lean on. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how the line shakes out from there. But I like what I see from the Raiders, and I think this team has the potential to, again, be in every game that they play.
The other thing that's going to be huge for the Raiders, and Mike, you and I talk about this all the time. I talk about this all the time with the gentleman on the panel, is a running game, an effective running game.
Absolutely. And Josh Jacobs is going to have to take the mantra to do that. He has the capability. I like Josh as a runner. I like him as a complementary runner. I like him as a feature runner. They're going to have to get the mileage out of him, and I think they will. But again, who's opening up those holes on the offensive line? They're going to need to get strong guard play out of both Denzel Good and Dylan Parham if they want to try to help open up that running game. The two guard positions are so vital in opening up a run game. And if that's not working and that's not clicking, there can be problems there. So if there is a question mark with the Raiders right now, that's it for me.
And speaking of problems and speaking along the offensive line, you have the Denver Broncos. Yes, they acquired Russell Wilson, so their quarterback play has been upgraded. But again, you got to go in front to find where the problems are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something that ultimately needs to be addressed. All right, with the Denver Broncos offensive line, the way it's constituted, Graham Glasgow is going to be the middle. He's going to be the center. You got Dalton Risner, who I think is a very good talent at the guard position. I put him up there with guys like Joe Tooney, maybe not at that level yet, but Dalton has the capability of being that type of an offensive lineman. But beyond that, you're going to have difficulty clearing the way for Russell to be able to do what he's doing. And look, I'm sorry to say it, but the loss of Tim Patrick for this team is going to be huge. Tim really had an opportunity, I think, this year to connect with Russell Wilson in a way that he didn't necessarily have the opportunity to connect with previous quarterbacks like a Drew Lock. I think this was his opportunity, and unfortunately, it looks like he's going to be out for the entire year. That's a big blow for the Denver Broncos. How do they work with that? What do they do? Does Cortland Sutton take a big step up? How do they work it with the running backs and getting Melvin Gordon back in the fold? That's going to be a big question for Denver right now on offense. But Russell Wilson definitely makes this team dramatically better. And again, this is a team that has an opportunity to compete every time they take the field.
Let's go around the board and make our AFC West predictions. I'll start with Wise. Wise, who you picking to win the AFC West?
I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I like the offense. I like the way they're built. And like you said, Justin Herbert gives them a chance to win every game.
All right.
But I think
Wise
they
is
have
starting it already. He goes with the Chargers. Cole, how do you feel?
Broncos. No, I don't like their offensive line, and Russell Wilson's probably going to feel as though he is in Seattle again, in the Mile High City. The Raiders, they need to run better than they do. They need to go to the running game more and more and more, but I think they won't. And the Chargers, I'd pick them, but Brandon Staley's their head coach. Chiefs by default.
Yeah, that sounds good. Mike, talk to me.
Yeah, this is one of those divisions where you can kind of throw a dart at the dartboard, hit one, and pretty much you're going to be, in the mix. So I don't think there's a bad pick within this division. I'm going to go with the Chargers at this point. I know a lot of people are probably going to roll their eyes and go, "Oh yeah, the Homer's going with his team," but again, I like the way these guys are constituted. Justin Herbert right now, calling signals. I like the way that's going to work out, and this team is really by all accounts, I think the healthiest and the most complete team in this division right now, roster from top to bottom. I really like what Keenan Allen is going to bring to the table this year. He's always one of the more elite receivers, but you hear things out of training camp saying that he's taking so much more of a leadership and active role in the locker room, on the field. That's going to be huge for some of the younger guys like an Eckler, who's coming into his own as a veteran. Mike Williams, another veteran presence there as well. And I like what they've done with the offensive line as well, between Slater and Zion Johnson. There's some good opportunities there for them to win. It's going to be a dogfight, this division, but I think the Chargers eke it out.
I would pick the Chiefs by default, but for some reason, I'm feeling the Chargers this year. So I'm going to make it 3 out of 4 of us, and I'm also going to go with the Chargers. But I wouldn't be surprised if Brennan Staley makes another mistake and the Chiefs wind up winning the division. But the way the Chargers are constituted right now, I'm going to go with the Chargers. We'll just have to let the division play out and see how it does play out. He's Mike DeBake. He joins us every Friday as we get you ready for football season, counting down the last 5 weeks to kick off. Next week, we will hit the AFC East, a division that he's very familiar with, considering his Patriots reside there. We'll talk AFC East next week. Always Mike DeBake, our senior NFL insider, joining us on the program as he does each and every Friday. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it.
Anytime, gentlemen. Always my honor and my pleasure. Have a great week. Can't wait to do it again next week.
We'll do it next week. Thank you, Mike.
Bye, Mike.
Got to take a breath after that one. Got to take a breath after that one. Matter of fact, we'll take a break. We'll go off the board, and then King Dawkins will join us to close things out. The third and final hour of the week of Snowman in the Morning with Wise El Jefe and Cole Johnson. Yours truly will be back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Thanks for listening to this episode of Snowman in the Morning. You can support us at Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson every time you shop for fan gear or collectibles at Fanatics. Just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and click on the Fanatics logo. Then shop as planned and we'll get a commission on your sale that will help us a ton. Next time you're going to shop at Fanatics, just visit officialsitmorn.com/fanatics and support our morning show. Thanks.
Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
He's a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time league MVP, a member of our 75th anniversary team, and for the first time ever, he's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
Wow, Stephen!
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me?
Do you believe it?
It's the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts. Every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
That is my beloved who made that request, and it's official. SIT Morn is the ID that you need. For those of you watching via the BS3 network, Papa J and YZ Hefe tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
To borrow a phrase from Jim Carrey from one of my favorite movies, The Mask, smoking. Now I got to find that sound and incorporate it with it somehow. Okay. Why don't we? Where am I at here? Okay. Cole, you do the picture. I'll do the sound.
All right.
And the sound is
Joker. I'm sorry.
Let's go off the board here. I mentioned Name That Tune. We were talking game shows for a while. And I found a sound that would make Cole very happy. Know what that sound is? You remember this, don't you?
Big money, no whammies, no whammy. Yes.
Wait. Let me get back to it.
Big money, no whammy.
Hit it.
Stop.
Now I got to get the sounds. I got to get the whammy sounds now.
Yes.
Savage
That's
Steve
another-
Holland is the person who created it. Now let's stay off the board. Remember what we opened the show with this morning with all the woke people talking about Miss Griner's?
free Brittany Griner. Yeah.
Okay. I got this for you. You ready?
Why you always lying?
Why you lying? Oh yes.
And to all those guys, I say two very simple words that my partner said.
You tripping. And I'm going to go off on those who believe that Brittany Griner has been unjustly done in Russia on my show. Oh yeah. Tune into that.
When do we tune in?
Well, the episode will premiere tomorrow. So you'll get a chance to see it tomorrow.
Is it
Cold Sports tomorrow.
Is it an hour long?
It's about an hour long.
Then you can add my radio network to the folks that will air your show because I'll pick it up. I just need to know what time and I'll plug it in.
All right.
I'll plug it in. I'll probably be here in the office. The screen's probably going to come down while I try to figure this thing out. Okay. Name that tune. Mention Pressure Luck. There was a predecessor to Pressure Luck that a lot of people don't know about. I want you to look up a game show called Second Chance. It only played 1 year in 1977. Jim Peck was the host, and it was the predecessor to Pressure Luck. The difference is with the board for Second Chance, it didn't like change prizes or anything like that. It didn't use monitors. It didn't use monitors. Then of course, and we could apply this to the top of the show today. There's To Tell the Truth. There were 2 versions of that.
Right. I remember that game show.
You remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
You could apply that. Oh, Chris Dietz, I love you. They want Griner free when she broke the law, and Watson jailed when 3 judges have said the evidence doesn't exist. Welcome to the land of the PC. Ain't that the truth?
100.
And then there's this. Thank you,
It's
Sick.
called gender bias. Yeah.
I think it's called flat out stupidity. I think it's called flat out PC stupidity. Yeah. And sometimes when you're dealing with PC stupidity, all I can think of is this.
That's all I can stand, cause I can't stand no more.
Hey, Brittany Griner, just remember.
The truth shall make you free.
Too bad the truth landed her in jail for 9 years.
Brittany Griner.
You big dummy.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you for that. Thank you. Sometimes, you know what? Let me invoke Bugs Bunny in this while we're taking shots. I'll take this shot.
This you gotta see to believe.
That's every time social media decides to come get us. And I mean every time. That's every time social media decides to come get us.
So when you were perusing social media wise, what did you find?
Don't ask him that question.
What did I find? What did I find?
Don't ask him that question. He didn't find anything because he doesn't peruse social media like we do.
I do.
I'll answer that.
I skip over those.
You know what? You know what?
What?
And the only reason I know about the TO thing is because my wife watches Good Morning America.
See,
and he was on there. He gave an exclusive to Good Morning America, and so that's the only reason I saw it, and I figured Ben, being a Dallas fan, he would probably know something about it.
Or a 49er, or an Eagle, or a Bengal, or a Bills fan. One who is not a legacy athlete, that would be one Terrell Owens.
No, not a chance. Okay. Let's throw some football clips out there. The first one that will come from CBS.
Clips?
Nice. But that's not going to get it done.
Remember this?
Yep.
Flacco stepping up and throwing deep down the far sideline. Caught! Into the end zone! Touchdown, Jacoby Jones! How does that happen in the Denver secondary?
I know that hurts that critical Broncos fan's heart, because just watching it and not having a rooting interest for either one, I really felt bad. I felt bad for the Broncos because of one guy who did not draw deep enough.
I was on the road with Trinity International covering football when that happened. And I was basketball. I beg your pardon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this was January.
It was January.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was on the road with TIU basketball when that happened. And all we can do when we got back to campus was sit there and go, what? That's all you could think of. You just what?
Yeah. And we're coming upon a 10-year anniversary of that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. That's why I love watching sports, because stuff like that happens.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
I don't feel sorry for no Bronco fans.
Speaking of stuff happens,
there's stuff that happens. Listen,
Lord.
I don't take back the Aroldis Chapman pitch. He pitched it down the middle. Okay, move on. Like,
look, I'm with you on that. That's how I feel about with the Astros 2019 World Series and 2021 World Series. I understand. I understand that.
Speaking of stuff happening, let's go back to 2013. Anybody remember this?
Here we go, 4th and 18 for
Courtesy
the
of
Tigers.
CBS. Auburn
Here's the ball game. Nick Marshall stands in, steps up, going to throw downfield, just a home run ball, and it is tipped off. And Lewis got it on the deflection. Lewis is going to score. Lewis is going to score. Lewis is going to score. Touchdown Auburn. Touchdown Auburn. A miracle in Jordan Hare. A miracle in Jordan Hare. 73 yards, and the Tigers with 25 seconds to go.
Jordan.
Lead 43 to
Not
38.
Jordan. That's it. And that, as I found out, that's the correct pronunciation.
Jordan.
That is the correct pronunciation. Dietz made a request, and I'm going to honor it for a few minutes.
The only thing that I hate about that play is it got upstaged by what happened 2 weeks later.
A miracle of Jordan Hare.
Jordan Hare
later became the kick six.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people were trying to ask, okay, which one's better? A couple more. Okay, I'm going to do. Oh yeah. This is for you, Cole. I'm going to give you this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to cut this to present it better.
It's a home run.
There you go.
Man. So one of the minor networks in Houston, local minor networks, you have your major ones, you have your minor ones. They would show that, and I was like 5 or 6, and I see that, and it gives me nostalgic flashbacks immediately.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And they brought it to Minute Maid Park.
Yep,
the home run celebration now.
Yep, they do.
They brought the old school to Minute Maid Park.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, they don't have the scoreboard stuff, but yeah,
they don't need it. They made it modern now.
Yeah,
they made it. They made it fully modern now.
Mm-hmm.
Fun stuff. Okay, now I can honor a request from Chris Dietz.
Okay.
And Chris Dietz, when I play part of this, don't ever say, wait, I got to find it. Don't ever say I didn't do anything for you. And of course, this involves one of the panel's favorite play-by-play announcers who, with college football on the horizon, here you go, Chris.
Category this year with what they have accomplished. They're ranked 6th in the nation. They will play number 12 Penn State today. It is a very big ball game for the future of the Wildcats. Coming up next on The
following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
And Cole, this theme is for you.
That needs to come back.
ABC Sports.
Oh, I have it. I'll send it to you.
The Big Ten matchup between the Penn State Nittany Lions and the Northwestern Wildcats. And here they are, the Northwestern Wildcats, the story of the year so far in college football. A collection of Walter Middies who have unsettled the norm in the Big Ten Conference. Their seats in Dyke Stadium with rumps in them for the first time in a dozen years. They're having so much fun, there was a sign last week that read, "Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier." As you look at the Big Ten Conference standings, that's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation. But Northwestern is sitting right up there on top. And they're 7-1 for the first time since 1936. Ohio State, of course, is right there with them, and those two do not play each other this year.
Yeah,
As you look
Keith
at the
Jackson's
Big
pin
Ten
game was
standings-
sick.
Huh?
As a Keith Jackson's pin game was sick. It was sick.
As you look at the Big Ten standings, that's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
I was like, there's
The
a
next
sign that
game-
says,
the-
let's
the
go back to
game that I do
losing.
this
Parking
year-
was easier.
Yeah, that was funny.
They're having so much fun. There was a sign last week that read, "Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier."
His delivery was it was just as priceless. But that pin
Yeah,
was
it
sick.
was. Yeah, it was. I got one more. One more before we bring King Doc in the house.
All right.
And we go off the board with King Doc. Where is it? Let's go back to 2007. I bet you would have to do some digging to find this. But does anybody remember this wild play making Sports Center?
On the 39-yard line, Trinity obviously cannot kick a field goal. They're
No.
going to have to throw. They're going to have to throw the ball as far as they can, or perhaps
start laddering.
come up with something else. But there's 2 seconds to go. The Tigers need a touchdown. The ball is on the 39-yard line. They have to score on this play, or the game's over. Barmore's got 3 wide receivers to his left and 2 to the right. He takes the snap. There's only 3 men rushing for Millsaps. Barmore throws it over the middle, complete to Thompson. Thompson looking for a block. He laterals it to Curry, and Curry laterals it again, and it's caught again. And Tomlin now on the lateral, and now the lateral to Thompson, and he laterals it back to Maddox on the other side. Maddox looking for a block. He fakes the lateral to Curry. Now he laterals it to Curry. Curry's at the 49-yard line. He's dancing around. He throws it back now to Maddox, who throws it across the field to Barmore. Barmore looking to run. He's looking for a block. He's got a convoy. He's going to throw it to Thompson. Thompson's at the 30-yard line. Thompson now laterals it back to Curry at the 35. They're running out of spaces. Curry fakes. He's going to lateral it to Tomlin. Tomlin's got a chance to go. Tomlin's got a chance to go. He laterals it. Now he's going to go to Maddox. Maddox at the 30-yard line, and now it's a lateral, and Curry's still going.
No way.
Curry's
No way.
He does.
It's a touchdown.
Scores.
It's a touchdown.
Curry scores. The game is over. Curry scores. Curry scores on the lateral. Curry scores. The Tigers lateraled it and kept lateraling, and the game is over. The Tigers win. The Tigers win.
God.
The Tigers lateral it and keep lateraling it, and they score from the 39-yard line.
The Miracle in Mississippi. And that was Division 3. All right. One final piece of business to wrap up the week. And that's King Dog himself. And he joins us right now via the Fanatics video line. And I'm glad I came up with that graphic. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm not, because I look like a goofball in that picture.
Just
You look
remember,
good, brother. Nah, you don't look like a
just
goofball.
remember, you said that.
Wise, a goofy, as the kids call it now, a goofy.
Goofy.
Why do you think you look like a goofy in that shirt, man?
You know how it is. You know, I'm not, hey, the Lord bless me, don't get me wrong, but in that particular picture.
And think of it that way, man.
Goofy.
Oh, no, if anybody looks like a goofy in some of his pictures is me, that's because I got this 2-foot smile on my face all the time, all right?
Hey, let's just say that's not going to be on my Christian Mingle profile, baby.
Hey, understood.
Yeah, but my shirt will be on, though, untucked.
It's got to be untucked.
Untucked. I'm fantastic, man. Fantastic.
Yeah.
You know the energy we get when we step into the Snowman in the morning with Cole Johnson and Wise building, man. The energy every week, man. And when I say you usually don't need energy to carry you through the weekend, but the energy I get on Friday mornings, man, when I say that's special, that's not regular Friday energy, that's without the show. So shoot, I'm always excited, man.
Hey,
That's
we're
awesome.
excited. We're excited to
Yeah.
have you. We've been
definitely.
basically off the board all day today.
Yeah, I love it.
My internet's been acting stupid, but it's finally right. And whenever we go off the board, me being the game show buff that I am, you hear this sound.
Joker.
So what did we talk all week? We talked Joker's Wild, we talked tic-tac-toe, Pressure Luck has come up a few hundred times.
Okay.
$10,000 pyramid.
That's a whammy. Then Pressure Luck, you get hit with that whammy.
Yeah, that was my choice. That's one of my favorite game shows.
I'm in
Was,
this.
no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Stop.
That one's scary.
Right on cue. And wasn't Pressure Luck kind of a sadistic show because you wanted someone with a lot of money to hit the whammy so they could lose? Wasn't it kind of a sadistic show?
Because the start of the show was the whammies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You wanted to see what was the new inventive whammy they were going to come up with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, speaking of game shows where you wish failure because it's a better show, how about the Love Connection? And we'll be back into it too. The bad dates was the worst, baby. Man. Yeah. The bad dates was the worst.
You hated a good date. Yes.
Yeah.
You hated
you wanted to hear the drama.
You wanted to hear the drama.
Listen,
yeah.
And then when the audience would pick the person,
right.
Then when the audience would pick the person that the guy or gal should go on the date with, it's usually who you pick at home.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, if you played it right, you can get you a couple of paid dates as a play on that, man. You pick one, it didn't go well. The audience picked somebody else, but the audience said this, and if you go out with her, we'll pay for that too. Shit, I'll give her a try here.
Free. Hey, dates paid for. Okay.
Yeah.
The chosen one joining us after reading the comments. Drew should be on this show. Oh man.
Let's go.
Do you know how much fun? The more the merrier. That's all I'll say. King Dog joining us here to wrap up the week. We mentioned Pressure Luck being a sadistic show because you wanted them to lose. Love Connection the same way. How about the dating game?
Yeah, loved it. Loved it. Couldn't get enough of it, man. Hey, that was binge watching before binge watching was a thing. Just imagine if you could watch either Love Connection, the Newlywed Game, Pressure Luck on a binge situation. Oh man, you spend the whole weekend watching those, man.
You know what? There's a story with the Newlywed Game that Bob Eubanks told. I haven't found
Bob Eubanks.
Bob, yes, one and only Bob Eubanks. I'm going to find the clip for it now. I'm going to find the clip for it now. But he told a story that had me just dying laughing. The year was 1977. And there was a question that was posed, and the answer was just out of control. And Bob tried his best to keep his composure. Now, if any one of us was the host of that show when that happened, we wouldn't have been able to keep our composure. I will tell you that right now. Especially given the fact that A, it was 1977, B, mostly anything went at that time before PC Nature decided to make an appearance.
Yeah, just ask Richard Dawson, who was kissing and hugging on
Oh my
everybody
God,
on Family
yes.
Feud.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Oh
think
my
he was,
Lord,
Anything
yes.
goes.
yeah. Richard Dawson was slipping tongue that women's throat.
Richard Dawson was kissing
Yeah.
every woman, and
Yeah.
tongue was going down their throats.
Yeah.
Right? You can't. George Gray said it on the show. You can't tell me there wasn't tongue there.
Yeah, and he was doing a couple of reach arounds too.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, he was. You know, he was copping a couple of fields here and there.
Yeah, he was.
He did it smoothly though. He
Yeah,
did
he
it smoothly.
was.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. He knew what he was doing, especially on
Yes, he
days
did.
where he would have his where he would have his Hogan's Heroes glasses
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, that was
he would have those.
That was back
he
in the
would have those
day when
dark-
if we had a black family on Family Feud, we calling everybody in the neighborhood there because it was so few and far between.
Yes.
And they always last name was the Johnsons. Hell.
Johnson or what? Look, Johnson or Wilson.
That's why I love watching this now with Steve Harvey because
Yeah, he always gonna represent. Yep.
Oh man, it's just hilarious.
It was either Johnson or Wilson or something. All right. Here's the legendary question from the Newlywed Game. The year was 1977. It was aired on NBC at the time, and then this happened.
Is the weirdest place that you personally, girls, have ever gotten the urge to make whoopee?
In the
No, what I'm talking about is the weirdest location.
What did she say?
She said ain't no
Take a guess.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Wow.
Take a guess.
Wow. Nah, that's exit only, baby.
That's right. Ice Cube said it best.
Exit only, baby.
Ice Cube said it best. This sign says exit only.
Yeah.
Kid from Kid and Play said it best also. The sign on my blank says do not enter.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, at first I thought that cat was Franco Harris, the dude that was her husband right there. I said, shit, is that Franco Harris, number 32 right there?
Oh my god.
He'd be a little bigger.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
I didn't feel singled out because I just simply didn't like Jenny McCarthy all that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Then, Cole, this is for you. Then there's this. And you want to talk about some double entendre questions on Match Game?
Oh yeah.
That had you
at least one or two.
You're like, wait a minute, what?
At least one or two.
And then the fights between Brett Summers and Charles Nelson Riley. the insults they would trade, and they were the best of friends off camera.
Right.
They were the best of friends. But they would be trading barbs back and forth with each other. Because there was one show where Charles couldn't make it because he was ill. He comes back the next day, and Gene asks him, how you feeling? Charles says, much better. And Brett says, if he wasn't feeling well, why didn't he go to a hospital? And right on cue, Charles looks at her and says, in my best Charles Nelson Riley imitation voice, because maybe the nurse would look like you. Zap!
So I got a small small game show trivia question to ask the panel.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
so think Dick Clark and think Pyramid. Okay, those are your clues.
Okay.
What were the denominations of those games? Okay, they call it the X $1,000 pyramid. How many incarnations of that based on dollar figure do you remember?
That's easy. 10, 20, 50, and 100. That's easy.
Okay, Cole, you got
10,
something
20,
different?
Wait a minute. 10, 20, 25, 50, and 100.
Okay.
25.
Okay. So up until today was my first day realizing that they had a 10,000 and a 20,000. I only knew about the 25 and 100.
They taped
Because
the
the 10,000 was the
10,000.
original. 10,000
Yeah, 10,000 was the original.
10 was the original. 10 was the original. 10, 20, 25, and 50 were all taped in New York. But then they moved it to Los Angeles, and then a special $50,000 tournament pyramid was taped in New York as well. But then they moved it to Los Angeles in 1982, and then you had 25, and then you had 100. And the 100 one was syndicated.
Right, that was the one that was syndicated.
That's easy.
Yeah. Okay.
And the one in Los Angeles sounded like this. From Television City in Hollywood, this is the $25,000 pyramid. Yeah, I was a game show. I was a game show buff as well as a sports buff growing up.
Yeah, and I got most of my player skills from the dating game where they was asking the questions when you was hidden from the other bachelors, and they say, for bachelor number one, I'm going to ask you this, and if you answer that question smooth, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep that one right there. I'm gonna put that in the repertoire.
Yeah, you have to. Why are you singing, Cole? I got the theme playing already.
You know Cole gonna sing. Every opportunity Cole get to sing, he's gonna sing.
See, this is where I met. This is where I messed with Cole. This is where I messed with Cole earlier in the week when I did this one.
Oh Lord.
Let's throw in a little Card Sharks from 1978. And like I said, when you watch that show, who didn't want that big ass stack of cards? The cards that they played with? Yeah. When you were a kid and you watched that show, you can't tell me you didn't want those big cards. You know?
Oh yeah.
But the problem was, where was I going to put them? Especially when my dad was working for the post office at the time. Where was I going to put them when all my dad's suits were in the closets? Because I couldn't hide them in there. I couldn't hide them in the attic because most of the Christmas decorations were in there. They'd be sitting out in my room and they'd get ruined. I wouldn't be able to keep them that long. Like, what? And besides, it would take a hell of a lot of effort to get them. It would take a hell of a lot of effort and a hell of a lot of money at the time to get them.
Ben, Richard Dawson was getting it in.
What? Wasn't he?
Oh man,
I'm sure he was.
And it was the only. You know who else was getting it in? Bob Barker was getting it in every time he got the microphone every morning.
Oh
yeah.
Bob Barker was getting it in every time he got the microphone.
Oh yeah.
You can't tell. You can't tell me he wasn't. You can't tell me he wasn't. But see, for me, and my wife put this meme in front of me. Every time I got sick, I needed a pack of saltine crackers, some Vicks Vapor Rub, some chicken soup, and this.
The price is right.
I was in the hospital 1 year.
Come on down. Yo, the next
exactly.
The price is right.
I wanted to be on that show so bad growing up, man.
I wonder. This is what I wondered. In every black household, I know that whenever you're picking the numbers for the car, whatever, we hollering out 7 fool, 1 fool, whatever, right? I wonder in white households if they yelling at the price is right like we is, because we tell it, it's a 3.
I can answer that question. They yell just as much as I'll answer that question. They yell just as much as we do because my in-laws do it, man.
Wow.
My in-laws do it.
Wow, I love it.
My in-laws look, my in-laws pick at me for being such a Price is Right fan, but they watch it with me.
Right.
For those of you who know, my wife is white. My in-laws do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes my in-laws would look at me like, all right, fill in the blank. What's the last number? They would look at me and go, fill it. What's the last number? You know this stuff.
That's the first place I realized that prices on rice-a-roni was higher in California than the shit was in Texas.
It was in Texas or Illinois, where I'm from, or Indiana, where I live. And Cole, you know how much my wife picks at me, and you've heard me say this. She'll just look at me and go, "Okay, finish it." Like, finish what? Like, finish the price. You know this stuff. I mean, look, people write to me all the time saying, "Was that your wife saying you're supposed to know all this stuff?" I say, "Yeah, it's a running joke between the two of us, and we do it all the time. It's fun though. It's fun playing the games. If I had a chance to go on The Price is Right just once, I would either love to walk the Golden Road or play Plinko.
Plinko, yeah. Plinko.
I would just either love to walk the Golden Road or play Plinko just once. They had a box game version of The Price is Right, and one year I got it for Christmas. My dad got me that for Christmas. That's how I learned Lucky. Well, watching is how I learned it, but actually playing it and setting it up, that's how I learned Lucky 7. That's how I learned Three Strikes. That's how I learned all the big card games, because that's most of what they had in there. And they had a box game version of Family Feud.
Did it come with a big ass wheel?
No, the box version didn't come with the box. The box.
That's all I wanted to do. Is spin the wheel.
I'd love to do that.
I used to get mad when folks do a little
small spin, right?
Yeah, man. Why? They used to make me so mad.
I be wanting to just bring it.
You gotta yank that. You gotta yank that thing down, man. You have to, and you can't do this little. I can't use the word spin. This little P word spin. I can't use the. I can't use the word. I promised my grandchildren I wouldn't.
Piddly, for those who are listening and watching, that's what he means. Piddly. That's the P word he's talking about.
Yes, that's the word. That's the word. That's the word. Can't use the other word, because I really don't want my grandsons to hear it right now, and they're both turning 3 this year.
Yeah. Wow.
Can't do a piddly spin. That's why the rule was instituted during that in 1976, that it has to make one complete revolution or the audience will boo you.
Yeah.
That's why that rule was instituted. Oh man, Ben in the chat with us. Price is Right was on at my grandma's house every day. Same. Same.
It was on my great grandmother's house.
My mom doesn't even speak English, and it was in her room.
Wow.
and she knew the prices.
Wow.
She knew what to do.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic.
That is awesome.
Like I said, that was one of my sick remedies. Like if I get sick during school, my dad comes to get me. I go upstairs, I flip the television on, and The Price is Right is on. I'm like, okay, cool.
And remember to spay and neuter your pets.
Yes.
He said that every episode too.
Yes.
I
got I think I have an opening that I can play. Matter of fact, I can.
Television's most exciting hour of fantastic prizes. The fabulous 60-minute Price is Right. Terry Miller, come on down.
For you.
Ralph Beats, come on down. Loaded break. Talitha White, come on down. And Lawrence Adams, come on down. You are the first 4 contestants on The Price is Right. And now, here is the star of The Price is Right, Bob Barker.
Play that bass.
They
job. I wanted to host The Price is Right. I wanted
They
to be a
had-
game show.
They had the most hype audience in game show history, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Their audience was crunk.
They still do. Even with Drew Carey hosting, they still do. They still act a fool.
Oh yeah,
They still act a, I do have one with Johnny Olsen's opening. I believe it. Yep, I do.
And here it comes. It's the beginning of the
1983, courtesy of CBS.
The most exciting hour of fantastic prizes. The fabulous 60-minute prize is right. Deborah Weitzel, come on down.
Of course, that's the late great Johnny Olsen calling his message. Rod Rodman was on the clip before that.
Come on down. Dolores Hightime, come on down.
You see, and stuff like this makes you appreciate it more. Appreciate the television we used to watch more.
And Marvin Graham, come on down. You are the first four contestants of The Price is Right.
Marvin.
Here's the star of The Price is Right.
And this is when they were really starting to get hyped up.
Thank you very much. And welcome to The Price.
And with that, we got to get on. And with that, we got to get on out of here.
Hey, before we do, the Podfather himself, Ben Sutter III, would just destroy me if I didn't mention tonight there are 2 BS3 Network show debuts that come on the network. The first
indeed.
at 7:30 p.m. The First Lady of BS3 Network, Erica Sutterth, and her podcast, Life Coaching 360. And with special guest, Brother Earl Israel. He's a fantastic artist, so that'll be wonderful. Again, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And our man, Wise himself, Wise El Jefe and Poppy J show at 10 p.m. So make sure y'all tune in to those 2 show debuts on BS3 Network tonight.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Cannot.
Standard time is from November to March. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know what?
Central Time. Let me just leave the standard off of it. Yeah.
So all my newbie on the East Coast is at 11, just so y'all know.
Yeah.
East Coast. 11.
King Dog,
Yeah, 11
I
on the
love
East,
you.
yes.
King Dog, I love
Well,
you.
man.
But get
You
out.
awesome,
We'll
brother.
see you next. We'll see you
All right,
next.
man. We'll see y'all.
Thank you. Thank you,
Peace.
sir.
Peace, brother.
Appreciate it. Oh man, we got to get out of here. Have a great weekend. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And y'all remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
then they are simply not big enough.
we invite y'all to dream big and do bigger. I gotta
Good
tear
luck
some.
to
I
your
gotta tear some
premier,
stuff
my brother.
down. I gotta get ready for Wise tonight, and for Cole Johnson tomorrow. His return will also be picked up by SDM Sports Radio. Got
And
something
BS3.
big. Got something big in the works,
Yes,
and
sir.
BS3 as well. We got a book. We'll see you Monday. We're out of here.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.